so incoherent though. Like my stuff is like very, very incoherent.
Well, we could do it. We could do a thing. We say, look, this review gonna be a little different. We're processing, and we're pissed.
We're processing and we're
So you
pissed.
gonna get that unprocessed pissed people.
Literally.
That's what it is.
Unprocessed piss people.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
that's what they getting.
Okay, y'all, we're getting started. I think everybody can hear. Hopefully, everybody can hear. Like, I just feel, honestly, I feel like I have like some type of Joker cynicism going on right now. Like, I just want to rage out, and I also feel very compelled to just laugh hysterically. And there's really no in between. Hey,
Do
Ellie.
all of it.
If you're new here, welcome to the Sistas live after show. This is our Sistas Keeper with myself, Erica Vane, and Allie Nick at Allie Nick Official on all of your favorite platforms. We are going to be talking about episode number 3 from season 6 of Tyler Perry's Sistas. And Allie, you just coined this term so beautifully. We are unprocessed pissed people right now.
Yes, we
So
are. Yes, we
hear what
are.
we're saying, but also give up a little bit of grace. Give up a little bit of
Please,
grace to your
please.
good sis. Wait, is YouTube having an issue? Hold on, y'all. Let me double check, make sure we're good over here. Okay, we're good. Um, we're coming in knowing that, giving y'all that disclaimer. So respect it. We're being honest. We're being self-aware. Accountable, if you will, to the fact that we are human beings and we are in this thing. We know ourselves to a certain level that we can speak to things that specifically trigger, inspire, whatever for us. And this video is about how it's coming across to us. Let's go ahead and reiterate that to start.
Us.
Okay?
To us.
Uh, Ellie, how you feeling? Cause I honestly, y'all, am probably going to be deranged on this video, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I've gone ahead and made peace with it. How you feeling?
I'm feeling very perplexed. I am feeling very tried to the 10th power. I feel conflicted. I feel a mixture of emotions, and yeah, I'm gonna be very transparent about it when we get there. Fortunately, my partner here, she's very heavy tonight, and so I'm going to pass the collection plate her way so she can get this good offering here for what she's about to give us. And we jumping into the deep end. I'm gonna follow her. Like where she lead, I'm going. So y'all just buckle your seatbelts. If you have children, they probably shouldn't be listening with you.
Not this one.
Um, so we're going to we gonna go there. We gonna you're gonna leave full of wisdom and knowledge, but a little ratchet gonna come out too. But
100%. East Baltimore
yeah,
is coming out tonight.
yeah. I'm from Florida, so you gonna get some of this. Y'all know we definitely unhinged down here. Y'all pray for us. But
But by way of Brooklyn, though, right?
no, I'm
Wait.
straight Florida. I'm
Just
straight
okay,
Florida.
okay.
Straight Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I could be Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I could be that too. I got some Tims. Up, and you know what I'm saying? I could be that.
Ready and
Ready,
waiting. Ready and waiting.
ready.
Y'all, just a little bit of housekeeping. We are switching platforms, so please let us know on any of the platforms that you might be tuning into if there's any discrepancies, any issues with audio. We've been testing and doing the work all week. We're currently live on my Discord server where you can request to come up and speak later on in the episode, but we are streaming live onto YouTube as we always do, as well as Twitter Spaces. So if you are having any issues on YouTube or Twitter Spaces, please do not hesitate to let either one of us know. You can post a comment or in the chat on YouTube. You can DM us on Twitter. We are going to keep our eyes on that, but just let us know because each week we're trying to improve the experience that is our Sistas Keeper as we come to y'all with this real rap raw. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I received all that you feel, and honestly, I echo a bunch of your sentiments, and then I also feel bad for you as an audience member because you deserve nice things. You deserve beautiful things. You deserve joy. And you don't deserve this goofiness that is what the hell was tonight's episode. There's so many things happening. And don't get me wrong. There are some things that are happening that I'm just like, but it's what for the right reasons. But because there is such a mishmash gumbo pot of everything, it is so hard to really discern the things that were great steps forward for the stories and things that were just like, nigga, no. What are we talking about here? And I don't even know which one I want to start with. Like, I am basically about to overheat. I am so overwhelmed with just, I don't know if it's anxiety, animosity. I don't know what the feeling is. I can't put it into words because again, y'all, we have yet to process this. And I'm just damn pissed, okay? I'm pissed as fuck. What is the like? I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I kind of want to start with Zach. I kind of want to start with Zach, but I feel like if we start with Zach, we're never gonna leave Zach.
Okay, let's wait for Zach.
I feel like if we start with Zach, we're never gonna leave Zach. And
yeah.
And we can't talk about Fatima because she's tied to Zach. And also, I have some. Okay, you know what I will say with Fatima and Andy, we can go ahead and get that out the way because Tyler Perry cleaned that shit up real quick. I see what you did there, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
You cleaned that real quick. Andy tried to make it cute, like, oh, you're gonna be better. That's what I had thought. You better had. That was the only other option because the nuclear missiles were loading, and I was ready. I was ready walking into this episode ready to light Andy's ass up. How did you feel about that moment?
Andy a reprieve. Okay, for a reprieve. When I did my trailer breakdown, I said I ain't gonna give Andy too much because I know how Tyler liked to mislead with these previews. But honestly, I think Andy was lying. She don't think Fatima gonna be better than her.
You don't think that?
No, I do not. I don't believe Andy believes Fatima. No, I really don't. And then my thing is this, like. When you carry somebody and you believe that they're going to excel to a level that supersedes you, why all the time? She's like Andy's do girl. Can you take this to the copier? Excuse me? Well, you got to get back in school. And I understand that, but I would appreciate that statement from Andy more if we actually saw like a mentor-mentee relationship between Fatima and Andy. They're more so like girlfriends. Like I don't see her really pushing her. Like I think Andy just said that because this to be. I don't know why she said it. I don't believe that she believes it.
I don't know how she couldn't believe it because Fatima is better than you now. Without a law degree. She's better than you in real life. I think so. Even with her enabling and mothering and like overstepping and trying to save Zach. Don't save him. He don't want to be. We're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there just yet. Even with that, I do feel like Fatima carries a certain je ne sais quoi as she's navigating womanhood that Andy has yet to even stumble upon, hope for. Andy, for me as a character, is still running around bumping into things and making sure she stays alive by looking good and eating salads. Like, that is all her character is giving for me. She's going to have a look and her body's gonna be snatched. Everything else, I don't know what's going on between her ears, cause the brain be checked out most of the fucking time. So like for me, Fatima's better, cause you know what the hell is that even?
Okay.
Honestly, because she thinks bare minimum. She might think and then still do some goofy but she thinks. Andy just be out here like, yeah, Gary, I'm cute. Robin, Karen,
That's
why
true.
would you?
That's true. That's true. I'll give Fatima that. Say in the real life, in Sister's world, in the real life, I will say that she is a better individual than Andy. But as far as like in the workplace, I just don't. I don't see it.
And
I
I
don't
only,
see it.
honestly, I'm only giving her edge up again over Andy in the workplace as well because we actually get to see her do work.
True.
Andy don't do no damn work.
Even if it is going to the copier. Even if it is going to the copier and making
Even
coffee.
if it's going to the random ass hallway in the garage to drop off files at 5 p.m. in 2023.
Yeah.
we're seeing her do stuff. You feel me? We're seeing her do stuff.
I get it. I get it.
And honestly, like I kind of, when Andy saw Fatima's face and she's just like, "You're better." I don't know. I really do feel like it was genuine because she also registered Fatima's reaction, like, "Girl, don't play too much," and she's like, "Oh, I'm not." Like I feel like Andy, bare minimum, knows her place. Like that's what that interaction showed me. That interaction showed me that she knows her place when it comes to her relationship with Fatima. No.
I get that one. I get that one.
Well, we don't want to go too far into Fatima because I also want to discuss why are you not in school, Fatima? We're gonna bring that up later when we get to Zachary. But why are you not in school, Fatima? Why are things hard? Why do you want to wait? Why are you avoiding setting a date? Why, honey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Curious minds want to know.
School, I don't understand either. Like, I guess I feel like too with Fatima being so like, I guess better. I have an issue with like, I don't know what Andy has done or proved for her to seek Andy's advice.
You
like,
know what?
Why is she the person you go to?
You know what? The thing about it though is there's something to be said, honestly, I think, just about being in a space. Sometimes people get certain honor or get certain reverence because they are the black woman in this particular space. And it's
True.
not to like shit on people and say that you didn't deserve how you got there, but Andy literally is a temp hole or like a placeholder at the law firm. We haven't seen no other black attorneys aside from Hayden's hating ass. We haven't seen no other black women attorneys, so we have nothing to really gauge it off of. From what I have actually been able to see, it don't look like Andy do no damn work. The only time that she was doing work is when she was hustling, trying to stay her ass up out of jail behind representing the guy who she's a mistress of's wife. That was the season that we like got to see Andy do the most amount of actual work,
True.
if any.
That's true.
So for me, I think that it's something to say in reference to proximity and Andy's placement. Because she operates a position that you aspire to, then you naturally want to aspire to like hear from her, even if you don't have no substance to give me, because how did you get there? And I think a lot of people benefit from that.
With that on the professional level. Like I can rock with it on a professional level. But their conversations are more personal driven than professionally driven. Like I don't know and the fact that Fatima knows Andy's personal business, you still gonna go to her? I don't get it. Like that part I didn't get.
And I don't want to be that girl, but hell, I'm gonna be that girl, I guess, because also look at Fatima's friends.
That's true.
Out of who she has to choose from, like her only option is to go to nobody.
And you know what? Nobody seemed really good. Nobody is Fatima's best choice. That's her best choice.
Not a damn soul. Okay.
But I get it though. I get it.
Let's do low hanging fruit. Maurice. Y'all, we're gonna get to the nitty gritty. We're gonna get there, but like let's go ahead and warm up because again, I really feel like once we get to Zach, we're never leaving Zach. I feel like we need to do Karen right before Zach because I also just have thoughts about Aaron. My Aaron.
Girl.
So let's do low hanging fruit. Maurice. What are your thoughts on Maurice in this episode? Actually, Maurice, Sabrina, Bayo, because
that whole trio.
Who gives a shit at this point?
Nobody. The same person that Fatima needs to go to for advice. Nobody. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was so tempted to turn the darn thing off.
When Maurice
tonight's episode really it really irritated me. I just feel like there's so much story to be told and we getting these whack dialogue between these characters like with Bayo. Leave your phone, leave your purse, leave that leave my what? Leave my purse, leave my phone. You think I'm just like, wait a minute. So we're in Atlanta and she's just supposed to go with you haphazardly, leaving all her stuff behind. I said, Sabrina,
use your common sense.
What's wrong with you? Common sense. Common sense. When he said I could double your money, she didn't want to. I'm just like, what am I watching? And the fact that I actually like Bayo, I'm like, Lord, don't make me dislike him now. Him. The material tonight, it wasn't materialing. And Maurice and Q, at this point for me, and it has been for me, it's pointless. Why are you there? Why are you threatening him? But you know what? The best line of tonight for me came from Q. I'm a snake. Expect to get bitten. What are we doing here? This man already told you who he was from the beginning. He never lied about who he was. He told you who he was. You welcomed him in your home with the confirmation of Calvin. But he never lied about who he was. What you thought you was? It almost made me feel like those women who think they coochie better than the other woman's coochie. He did that to her, but he ain't gonna do it to me. Those the vibes Maurice gives me, and I'm just like, no, buddy. He told you who he was. Now you got to deal with this. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to Sabrina? What you mean? He's a snake. He did what he's purposed to do, which is to bite your ass, and that's what he did.
And
I don't have nothing else for them.
Honestly, and I guess this is the screenwriter in me, and y'all can come for me all the hell that you like, because y'all did this shit when I was talking about Zatima with Zach's mama. And when she was just like, I got a problem. And I put in my breakdown, I was like, what crackheads do that? Because I met a one and I'd have known quite a few. Quite a few. I have known quite a few. I spent a lot of my childhood navigating Baltimore City. Cousins, aunties, like not aunties, child. Definitely cousins, because actually my grandmother's kids is for the most part, they good. But family, friends. I grew up in Northeast Baltimore City. Tons of crackheads. I don't know not one crackhead who was running around and caught in a situation with somebody trying to help them or understand them, and they're screaming out, I got a problem. It
never.
Ideally, cool. Then you know it, then we can move forward. But then you also in a place of you not actually trying to move forward. So I thought that it was bullshit when Zach's mama said it, and I called it out, and people were just like, well, Erica, you just don't want her to get better, and you don't want... No, it just don't feel realistic. I honestly, in hearing Q say, I'm a snake, it did not feel real. What scammer...
Real.
What scammer is like going to go through getting your ass arrested behind attempted larceny? Like who is going to do all of that? This man has put a gun to your head. He has been gay for pay. He has moved into your house. He done told you. He done did all of that, and all he got to say right now is, I'm a snake, expect to get bitten. I feel like there's no nuance to that. Especially in the circumstance that you're in. You have been shot by this man. You're playing back and forth on the coin of like kind of scared, but I ain't no hodo. It's like, I need Q to make up his mind. Which one are you gonna be in this moment? And I feel like for me, it's more so those specific words being used, because you can have the intention and you can have the thought, but I just don't feel like it's realistic for that to be the thing that would have come out of his mouth. If he would have left it at what did you expect? Like if he would have just been repeating all scene, what did you expect? I could have respected it more. But you say I'm a snake, expect to get bitten. That is some shit that a writer writes because they want the writer to say this so that the other character can say that.
True.
And a novice writer at that. And no shade, Mr. Perry, because I respect you, but no, like so much. And this leans to what you were saying about there's things that are happening in the show that's like, why is it happening? Especially because we already have the bones for really, really great stories. Like we have already been over this whole Q storyline to begin with. So if you're going to spend minutes on it, if you're going to give like actual viewership time, then make it worth our time to actually see it. Where are we going with this Q thing? Because that's also what the dialogue pointed out to me of like, expect to get bitten. So you ain't learned nothing. You ain't remorseful. Okay, cool. I've been wanted you to fall. Like, I've been wanted you to die. Like, I am not rooting for this character at all. There is absolutely no reason for him to be on screen anymore. So I just literally was watching those scenes like, why am I here? What are we doing? Similar to what you were saying about, I could just cut this shit off.
Pretty much.
It's not giving authentic. It's not giving real. This is like, hey, everybody on YouTube checking in. Shout out to y'all.
Hey, everybody.
We're clearly a little bit passionate tonight. And I didn't get to shout everybody out, but we see you. Keep commenting in the chat. So I struggle with it. But I get it though. I get that you appreciate him calling a thing a thing. I just don't know if people with no moral code, sinister thoughts, would call a thing with themselves. Or specifically Q. Like, out of all of the dialogue that he had in that scene, I respected the most when he said, you and Sabrina will be all right. Y'all have never been to jail before. I feel like that was the realest shit that he could have said. I feel like that was the most dropped in, like, okay, this, now I, as a viewer, can look at this and I'm not empathetic to him still, but I can almost get it a little bit. Him saying, I'm a snake, expect to get bit, did not do anything for me. Because it wasn't a phrase that put you in a position to fully be accountable. It was almost like you were gaslighting him through this fake accountability. But like to say that you and Sabrina will be fine, y'all ain't never been arrested, and almost to say like, I think that started to, at least for me, start the percolation of how some people who might participate in criminal activities and might use law-abiding citizens as scapegoats do so because like they feel like they have been given the short end of stick in life, and that this person will rebound fine. They got support. They got each other. I ain't got nobody. Like, to me, there's something there versus everything else that was said. It was like, it's whack. And then Maurice, I'm going to have you murdered. Even if you are, why are we announcing it? Best believe if I'm ever planning to do that, you will not know.
You'll
it will
never
100% set in motion.
$6,000. Got about $6,000. I got some people. I said, and I think what you said was very important. Even the part of you saying, like, the part that you respected of Q's dialogue with Maurice. I think that I've been so like disinterested in this particular storyline for so long. When he just said, "I'm a snake," like, what do you expect? I guess because he said those things several times prior, just in a different way. So why are you here? I was like, Maurice, get that pillow and do it yourself. There is nothing that we need to know about Q anymore. We know that his mom kicked him out. We know that he didn't have a great upbringing. We don't give a damn because we don't like him. So trying to get this, like, I don't understand his purpose anymore. He's like, I like the actor, but I'm like, his character is taking up space, and it is really putting a sour taste in my mouth. Because it's like, at this point, there is no purpose for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, there is no purpose for this man to be on this show. But
and even with that, like, there's so much that could still be done if we are hell bent on telling this part of the story. Why isn't Maurice leaning into how deeply hurt he is for going against his intuition and deciding to show up for Q, knowing like his skin was itching, like hairs on or standing up, goosebumps when interacting with this man, but you still chose to do so. Like, I feel like Tyler Perry will give us a little bit and then pull that shit back, like give us real stuff and then pull it back, because there was a little bit of that in that dialogue, but that's what the whole conversation should have been. For Q, the whole scene should have been about, y'all will be fine, y'all got a place to live, y'all got each other, y'all got money, I ain't got and for Maurice, but it should have been like, I chose to show up for you. I betrayed myself to show up for you. I actually love, like, have we heard Maurice say that he loves him? Because also, you have to. There has to be some type of love there for all of this to go down, and you still standing on the side of this goofy ass hospital bed trying to get some answers. Because in my opinion, if you were coming just for revenge, then there would be a pillow to his face and the scene's over. We got 30 seconds of the scene and we out.
Period.
Maurice, you're here because you feel away. Okay, cool. If you're going to make me watch it, then give me something real.
Let's go with that. Yeah. And it's like you said, Tyler touched on it. And then but this is like what he does. He'll touch, step away, touch, step away. Because I was like, Maurice was going toward. I'm like, yeah, talk about how this really affected you. No, we don't get that. We get a little bit. Nobody would be there for you like I was. Where's your accountability? Where's your responsibility in the things that you've done when you can do that? Like, if Maurice would have really broke down, I know some people would have been like, well, what the hell he crying over him for? No, show that. Show that in this moment with Q, you let your guard down. You went against what you truly felt. You allowed Calvin to get in your head and make you feel some type of compassion for that sob story he gave about his mom and all of that good stuff like that. But how did that affect you? It affected you because you're risking your freedom to come to this hospital over someone that you accidentally shot. That says a lot. That you are bold. That says a lot.
Yeah.
But we don't get that. We don't get that. It's like you get this watered down, weakened version of a conversation that really does mean a lot, but the way that it's presented, it misses every time because the emotion is taken out of it.
Yeah, and I think that is also what my biggest struggle for tonight's episode is. And for anybody who's listening, don't get this misconstrued, because there's people who come into the comment section and are like, this is why the show is trash and this is why I hate it. And I'm just like, okay, y'all can stop watching. We watch and we're continue to watch, and we're communicating honestly criticisms about this, but still and very much so in support of the show and having these conversations. And I think that it's important for us not to sugarcoat it and to be able to speak to what fell flat in scenes like this, because for me at least, my whole goal in talking about any of these damn shows, as well as the shows that I create, is to connect the humanity back into the media that we're consuming so that we can learn and see and experience things without necessarily having to go through them ourselves all the time. So please do not take this as an opportunity to bash Tyler Perry in the comment section, even though we are being very critical in this moment. Now, that is also not going to change the fact that I think this is why I struggle with the episode as a whole. We started to touch on topics in this episode that I don't know if Tyler Perry is committed to going as deep as he needs to go to do them justice. And that shit is already pissing me off. And I haven't even seen where it's coming, like where the next couple episodes to know that certain things will be devoid of emotion or different things will be devoid of nuance. But I kind of feel like it is. And yes, again, that's a very critical statement of what Tyler's put on the screen, but I'm doing so to have a healthy dialogue about it and to communicate my expectations, but also give y'all reasons why.
Yeah. You'll get a lot of that from me when we get to Zach storyline about how I personally feel about that. But it's like you said, like my purpose for like Sistas used to be one of my favorite shows. And be perfectly honest, it's not one of my favorite shows, but I appreciate the fact that it does cultivate opportunity for discussion and for conversation, whether it's professionally, personally, bringing up things that I've experienced in the past, things that I've witnessed my friends go through, and connecting with the community that also may feel the same way or may feel totally contrary. But having those discussions amongst black women, black men, black people, and being respectful, because somebody can show me something that maybe I've been missing, or maybe because I may have grown up differently. I never lived in the quote unquote hood. I grew up in the suburbs my entire life. So there are certain aspects of life that I wasn't privy to, or a certain type. Now, I was gonna sound like a true hoe. I was gonna say I've experienced different kind of men, and we put that out there. That that came from all walks of life, so I have that experience. And, even with my friends, but I think Sisters is a great show. It could be a cautionary tale. It could be, this is what you don't do. These are the things you steer away from. And these are the things that you gravitate toward. And so that's what I do like about the show and what I can appreciate about the show. At the same time, calling out those things that, hey, we already see this. Let's flip it a different way. Let's kind of go, let's talk about this, or bring it from this angle. So that's my purpose for me doing what I do, especially when it comes to this particular show.
Yeah. So yeah, Maurice, Q, y'all weren't given, but also not in the same way that we have been saying that you haven't been given since season 4. This was a very ideal opportunity to have some really dope ass conversations and make the whole storyline worth something. Like, this should have been a culmination, honestly, pretty much like the climax. And no, I don't think the shooting was the climax. I don't think him holding up the bank was a climax. This was literally what could have been a climax for these two characters within this universe. And it really just fell flat. And I'm not looking forward for Maurice trying to retaliate. At best, like, you should have went in there with a recorder, because at least you would have got your damn confession out of him. But you didn't even have that. Like, Maurice,
Absolutely.
what are we doing?
I'm prepared.
Sabrina girl. You ain't even really do nothing this episode, and it's probably because I'm pissed.
Not a damn thing.
It's probably because I'm pissed, because, girl, you on my nerves. And it probably just because everybody is on my nerves except for Karen, who was still missing in action in this episode. I just want Sabrina, whatever you thinking in your head, mama, release it. Release it and just go with whatever is in front of you in the moment. Because I watched Sabrina, and the scene gave nothing. Bio you was doing a little bit too much, and you told me about how he was giving, the Nigerian email scammer last episode. I felt that this episode, I was just like, leave my purse, my phone. Why would I ever do that? I'm not tagged like a dog. So how will people find me if you decide to lose your goofy ass mind behind this millions of dollars that you just handed me?
And I don't know you. Leave my purse. First of all, before we even get to Bio coming to the apartment, I said, Tyler, why we got Sabrina with that little feather thing? That was the first thing. I said, what?
I said Maurice and Calvin left, and you just started to dust whatever the fuck.
And then you gonna dust. I said, why? This is a black woman who has gone through some trials and tribulations. Baby, she need to have on some Erykah Badu, something to lighten her mood. She dusting? Okay.
If she gonna be cleaning, then where's the bucket at? Like, why are we not hyper fixating and scrubbing the counter? Like, dusting?
Thank you. Stealing from Color Purple. Show her frustration. I was so mad. She just gently, I said, come on, Tyler. Come on now. Come on.
Yes. Okay, but then now Bio arrives at the apartment. How you feel about it?
I love his little chocolate self. Like, I think he's so cute. But, he's just like, I don't know what to make of him. I like him. I know he's a prince. I know he has all this, this money and everything and things that he can do for Sabrina. But the way he was kind of talking tonight, I was like, Bio, I don't know if I trust you. It's giving very much, give me 5,000 to deposit in an account, and I'm gonna give you 50,000. That's what it's giving, and I just don't know.
Period.
I don't know.
Period. And I want to kind of root for him, but I also like, and this is where, how do I want to say this? This is why it's important as you're constructing ensembles for you to balance out the storylines, because they're so, and I get it, like not everybody can be going through World War III or something nuclear happening in their lives, but Sabrina's scene was so inconsequential to her life that I really felt like it was a waste of time for everybody involved. For us as the audience, for Novi, for the guy who plays Bio, like the whole entire, it was a waste of minutes in the episode that we actually did not need. And
did not need.
Tyler, you want me to be convinced that this man got her back? Then just start wiring her ass money. You already have a way to give her money because you did it for Maurice. So like, a man who is about that life is not going to ask your permission to do for you. Like, he's just not.
Come on.
Shout out to my damn daddy, because he makes it very hard for other men. Like my real daddy, because Tamira, if you call Hayden daddy one more motherfucking time. Anyway, a man who like just has great plans and wants you to truly not worry and live in your feminine energy and just have leisure and all of that is just going to do. Bio comes and talks too damn much for me to believe that this shit is real. Now, he did get the $1 million for Maurice. Okay, cool. But like, sir, you don't want her to worry about rent? Put the rent money in her account.
In my account. Matter of fact, you ain't even got to put it in my account. This is my landlord information. Just send it to them.
You keep coming here. I'm pretty sure as a prince, you can figure out who her landlord is, because clearly she's not going to give you the landlord information. But use your resources. Use your common sense.
You a prince. You Prince Akeem. When I say the man got his own money, baby, he got his own money. You got your own money, Prince Akeem. Go pay that. Like, and I do, and I'm making a joke out of it, but I do agree with you when you're involved. And there's a specific type of man that it's like a ministry, because ministry is meeting the need of that person, of that organization, whatever. If you see that this person that you are so like enamored with has a need that needs to be met and you can meet it, then meet it. Well, Sabrina, I don't want you to take me to breakfast. I don't want you to take me to no damn lunch. I don't want dinner or dessert. If you know I'm in need of something and you have it, then do it. If not, what are you coming around for? What is it that you want from it? And I think that's the issue I have with Bio. I don't know your purpose. Yeah. I don't know your reasoning for sniffing around. Is it sex? If you want Sabrina to be your concubine, what is it that you want from her? He has
to state his intentions. I mean, he said like, "Oh, I think you're a beautiful girl and you deserve the world," but why? Why? And that could be us coming from an unhealed place in that particular part. But state why, sir. Why are you looking for me to smile and to dance freely and to do whatever? I need to know why. I don't just be out here like, oh yeah, he said X, Y, and Z, because them men still don't like you. Them men still harass you. Them men still harm you.
I am one of them women. When I meet a man, I know what my intentions with him are, because there are certain categories that I personally have as a woman. You're either like my friend or somebody I did, you cool. Whatever judgment or whatever. You somebody who I'm physically attracted to, but I'm not sexually attracted to you, so we probably ain't gonna do nothing. Or you're somebody who I'm sexually attracted to, and you probably ain't gotta do too much to get it. Boom. But I'm not saying I'm going to, but when I meet people, like my brain automatically puts them in a certain category, and I let them know, listen, if you come to me and tell me you want a relationship, and I say, hey, or I'm in a relationship, or that's not what I'm looking for at, currently, and I don't want to waste your time, I'm good for that. And I've been this way my whole life, especially in college. I met a lot of men who had kids. One dude I met, his first baby mama passed away. He was 27. I was 21. Said, how old is your daughter? Like 6 years old. No. Because I'm out here. I'm out here. You looking for somebody to help you raise your child. I'm not her. Baby, I'm for the streets at 21. I'm for the streets. No, and I always felt like, and one thing my mom always taught me, don't play with nobody's feelings.
Mm,
I state my intentions. I let you know what it is. If I'm for you, I'm for you at this moment. If I'm not, I'm not. I don't play that, and I don't want to play the guessing game. What is it that you want? Tell me. I ain't gonna feel. If you say sex, I don't feel like you calling me a hoe. It's either yes or no. Yeah, I'm on that. No, I'm not on that. Be gone. But I just feel like it's, even though in Sister's time it ain't been that long, but we've seen him too much to not know what the hell he's there for.
yeah. Yeah. And no, it doesn't mean that every man has to approach you and be like, I want a relationship with you immediately. But like,
Right. Right.
for him to do the things that he's doing and still not have any type of intentions communicated clearly, that is a red flag for me.
Red flag. Crimson.
Because it kind of feels like you are priming me to accept something that I typically would not accept. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just come out with it?
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
know, Sabrina's little story was inconsequential, so we're gonna go ahead and keep it pushing.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
Andrea Barnes, you got Gary's message. So what?
Baby girl, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
When I tell you, I just want to laugh hysterically about certain points because it's like, why?
Why? Why? Why? You want to impress me, Gary? You want to impress me by some singing? I'm going to need you to get the vocal Bible herself.
Not even that. I don't want you to use Brandy at all for your goofy ass sorcery. How, like, when she started singing that song, I said, no, you will not, Gary Borders. No, you will not bring Brandy, of all people, into this tangled web of deception and menacing. You disgusting. Gary does not deserve nice things. Cheeto, I love you, but Gary does not deserve nice things.
Gary don't deserve nice things. But if you're going to have somebody come to my job to sing Have You Ever, then damn it better be Brandy Rihanna Norwood. It better be Brandy. I don't want no knockoff. The lady did have a beautiful voice, sis. You can sing, but you ain't Brandy. Don't you ever. You could have picked any other song. Don't you pick no Brandy song and don't have Brandy singing it to me. And I'm like, it's just so amazing how quick. And that's why I be want to punch Andy in her damn throat.
She's so gullible.
She's so gullible. She's so gullible. She's so easily swayed. She's so easily swayed. And I'm just like, that got you when the reception was like, oh, that was so sweet. It was, but I'm not trying to go for it. I'm like, Andy, you so damn simple.
I yelled at the reception and said, girl, who asked your ass? Where's the black girl at?
Nobody asked you. You don't even know this song. Sit down.
Sit your ass down.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Like, it was so, like, and it was like a circus. I felt like, this is not real. This is not right.
And it's almost like Gary might as well be one of the men in black, because it takes very little for him to put something in front of her and Andy just forgets every goddamn thing.
Everything.
It's like it never even happened.
Yeah. It was like, I said, tell her she can sing. Tell her she did a great job and tell her to go. What? I'm not giving no damn instructions. I didn't pay for her to come here. You did. You just, girl, I was so like, I'm on work mode. I'm on work mode.
Like you owe him some type of explanation. You sound like you're mad at me. And if I do, and if I am, and what? What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do?
Squeeze me to death again? Get your ex-wife to come up here and shoot the shit out of me? Like, what are you gonna do about it, Gary? I'm trying not to fall for it.
Yeah. You already done failed. You're gone. You're gone. You failed.
That's what he should have had. He should have had that girl come in here and sing So Gone. That's what he should have came in here and had somebody singing. Because also listening to the words of Have You Ever, Gary, you do not resonate with that song at all. There's nothing pure, true love about what you have in reference to Andy. You do not love this woman. You do not know what love is. Stop playing in my face. Please.
Yeah, that I feel the same way. Not that song. Not that song.
Ghetto.
Mm-mm. But yeah, but girl, Andy just girl.
Okay, we got Bio Sabrina Maurice. We got Andy's little ass with Gary.
Danny next.
Oh, Danny, I was about to forget about Mama. Ain't that some? Go ahead. You can go ahead and start with her.
Over it. Over Danny's for me personally, I'm just over Danny's attitude. Danny has an attitude like with everybody like that just comes her way. I don't know Jonah's ex name. I don't know who was ever given her name, but I just feel like I feel like her intentions was pure when she was talking to Danny. At the same time, I can understand why Danny would have a little thing, but I think it was over the top. Like for me, it was team too much. It was
I
team too
mean,
much.
that damn lady came up in there cutting up, acting a fool when she was drunk.
The first, yes, she did. The first, but my thing was she apologized. She apologized for her actions. I just I'm not saying that Danny's perspective wasn't warranted. I just felt like her. I don't know. Danny's attitude is just so nasty to me, and maybe I'm just sick of her.
I
Maybe
think it
that's
could
what it is.
also be that so many of these characters are not all in or all out on different perspectives or feelings or moods that they be in. I honestly wanted, if Danny was going to be mean, she needed to be meaner. I feel like again in us being robbed of these characters actually truly experiencing and emoting the emotions that come with how they feel about certain things, because we're not getting that, a lot of it's starting to fall flat. So I feel like you could also be resenting Danny in her attitude because it was so flaccid. Like, you got a little bit of stank attitude for her. We know that she was rude to you before, but like, do we have attitude because, girl, this man tried to kill me and she know, like, do you know about that? Like, I didn't get any of that from her. Do you know what has happened? Not only this last time and why he was in jail, because you know he's in jail, but do you know about what happened the first time? Like, there's so much that could have been behind her nastiness, but I feel like it wasn't there. So then it's also like, well, then why are you mad? Because she was drunk the last time she saw you? Because she brought up that the man was, like, I get what you're saying about that. For me personally, the lady would have got nothing from me if I was only mad about her being drunk the last time. Like, you ain't my client right now. I don't have to fucking talk to you.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
Excuse me, man.
I agree. I agree.
But I do feel like she has a reason to have anger, and honestly, I would like to see more of it. I feel like that would tell me that we were actually on some type of good-ish path when it comes to Danny, and maybe ascend into a place where she could actually start to heal if she was letting out however she really feels in a moment. Because, girl, there's no way in hell this man has come back to physically assault you, almost kill you. Now, physically assault you the second time, almost kill you. Your ex who done brought a random white lady into town to parade her in front of your face and try to make you coerce your ass into a relationship is the one who comes to the rescue. So you have conflicting emotions about that. You're appreciative that he helped save your life, but you still resent him for the goofy shit that he's doing. Your sister just had a whole damn intervention with you. You are an alcoholic and probably have not even been able to have a damn drink because Preston's at your house and he's watching you. Girl, that's plenty of things for you to feel. Feel them things and let us see it.
I mean, facts. I attitude, but I felt like this. I felt like it's something that you stated. If this woman is unaware of what Jonah specifically did to Danny, all she knows that the first time I stepped up to this gate to you, I was hella disrespectful, and for that I apologize. But then it goes back to Tyler's writing, because for this woman to tell Danny, I want to let you know that he's out of jail, you should be careful. Why are you telling her to be careful? What is it that you know? So you obviously know something. Whether you may not know the extent of it, you know that he did something to her that caused him to go to jail. And like she said, he always calls me when he go to jail. So do you always bail him out? Because who bailed him out? Like, I'm interested in who's getting this man out of jail every time he physically assaults a woman. And to me, maybe I was reading a little bit too much into it as well. But I'm like, and because I did study criminal justice. But I'm like, this judicial system, because it's not the first time that he's done this to a woman. He's done it multiple times, and he's still walking out here free. What is going on? Why is he here? he should not be breathing.
Mm-hmm.
He really shouldn't. I just feel like what is really going on with that? Does it play into not the stereotype, but play into the role of women who are battered, who are abused, and who are afraid to say something? Does Jonah's ex represent that? Does she give him a pass because they have a child together, which a lot of women do? We have a child together. I don't want him to go to jail, but this man he's put his hands on you several times, and you just don't let it slide because you had his baby. Like, I think it's a lot to that storyline. I think that's where a lot of my aggravation is coming from, because it could be a lot of meat to that if it's written that way. But it's like it's just not. It's just not giving at all. And it's like, come on, it wasn't even like a little bit. Danny didn't even say, like, that meant like the emotion of, like, to see her break down. And I think her breaking down at her job, to me, would have been ideal, because she's doing it in front of these strangers. She's just completely bare and vulnerable and fed up and giving this rage. This man put his hands on me, and whatever the case may be. But I don't know if we'll ever see that. But I think it was a missed opportunity tonight for that to be displayed.
100%. And I think even you bringing it up at her job in front of these strangers, honestly, her job is probably the safest place that Danny has right now, because she doesn't feel necessarily safe amongst her sisters. She doesn't feel safe in her apartment. And that is probably what's the thing that's bringing her back to work immediately after these traumatic events, because it's the only place where things are the same. Even when that man has invaded this safe space, he's had to resist or hold himself back to a certain extent because they were there. So I think that you're right. It's 100% a missed opportunity for her to have a beautiful, beautiful breakdown moment and actually speak to where her character is on this journey. Come on, Tyler Perry. Not you 0 for 2. And we're not even done. On this episode, you 0 for 2, baby. Help us. Help us help you, sir.
Please.
Okay, so
please do.
we didn't talk about Danny, Sabrina.
Yeah, talk about Danny.
Andrea. Oh, wait, before we go off of Danny, before we get off of, once we leave Danny, going back to Andy real quick, the one thing I am going to give Andy credit for, and it could be her animosity, her low-key animosity towards Zach, but I love the energy that she presents when Zach is at the law firm, because she is still Fatima's boss, and Zach comes up in there like Fatima don't have a big girl job.
Oh, yeah, I was going to bring that up when we got to them. Yeah. Oh, okay. But okay, yeah, I feel you.
And Zach annoys me. He annoys me with how he interacts with Andy. Like, it's just Karen homegirl and now Fatima homegirl. It's like, no, this is her fucking boss. Have some decorum. But I'm not going to do too much on Zach, because I got plenty of things to say about that young man.
Well, since you hit that, I'm gonna piggyback on that, because that goes back to what I was saying. It feels like Fatima and Andy are more so homegirls than boss subordinate, and I think that has been displayed, because every time Zach comes, that's the energy that he gives. You know who you can play that with and who you can't play that with. And I think because Andy plays that role of, I'm Fatima's friend, that's how Zach treats her. Andy has said something several times. He's still coming here with that same energy. I'm like, this dude pop up as if Fatima ain't got no damn job. Y'all kissing all in front of the... I'm like, what the hell is this? What is it? I mean, he literally pops up like this woman ain't got no job. I don't understand. Like, that... Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. Saying this dude, don't do that. Don't come to my job. Is it an emergency? Then you need to dial 911, because they can help you better than I can. And now it's cute if you want to bring lunch, but we've already orchestrated that. We don't pop up. Don't pop up on me. I'm not that person. I'm just not that person.
Yeah, you said that before. I have
triggers. Yeah, I have triggers. Like, don't pop up on me. Don't unexpectedly come to my house. Don't do it.
It will not end well for you.
It will not. It will not. I just.
So we are going to probably go ahead and save Zach for last, which means that we only have Mama Karen.
Kern. It's gonna be something, y'all.
Angie, boo, Angie. Beehive, do not come for me. I'm just going to call it like I see it. And I still
Oh, we
enjoy
going.
Pam as a character.
Oh, we going to Pam. Okay. Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
enjoy Pam as a character. I will still continue to enjoy Pam as a character, but Angie, that first scene was an Aunt Mama. They should have reshot that. The way she was
Baby.
hooping and hollering, and I was just like, is she wounded? What is happening?
We just gonna call a spade a spade. That was some of the worst acting I have
It
ever
was so
seen.
bad.
It was bad.
It was
It
so
was bad.
bad.
It was bad.
And Angie has been doing really great as Pam. I feel like Pam is right in the pocket for her, and I don't even know her as a person.
Yeah.
But this,
I felt like Erica. This episode felt like we were getting punked. I literally, when I tell you, I literally was in the midst of watching this episode, and I told my mama, I said, I was like, "Are you watching Sistas right now?" And she was like, "No." I said, "When I tell you," I said, "I'm so angry right now." I felt like it was a this, and I don't say this to be in any way disrespectful to Angie, because I do respect her craft and I respect what she does. But I felt like it was a disservice to her as a artist. I felt that performance was so beneath her, and as a great director, for those who have directed people before, and I've directed plays and stuff like that, it is your responsibility to pull that out of the talent that you have. And I feel like Tyler failed her.
He didn't direct this episode.
He didn't?
Mm-mm.
I
There's this person named Amari that I've been noticing. I think it's Amari. I got to triple check. But Tyler Perry didn't direct the episode. He wrote it, but he didn't direct it. He didn't direct the last two. He didn't direct the first three of the season.
Oh, okay. It was bad. I felt like even if I wanted to muster up some type of emotion, I was so appalled by the performance that nothing happened. It's like it was watching paint dry. I could not believe that was the final cut that they used. I
couldn't believe it either.
I was blowed.
And it's really tough being an artist and then feeling or being critical of other people's art, because it's all subjective at the end of the day, right? Like none of us are making the damn rules. But for me, as an audience member who enjoys the show, enjoys that character, I agree 100% with you. I think that this definitely did her as an artist a disservice, her character a disservice. It made Pam in this moment feel completely unserious, and while she is the comedic relief, we know that there has been a certain weight, I feel like, built into the Pam character over the last few seasons in being Karen's rock. So like part of this performance like distracted that for me, and it almost made me like, now I got smoke for you, Pam, for real. And I don't even believe that the curlers are really Pam's fault at the end of the day. But I'm pissed because why do I have to watch you fake cry like this and be basically this wounded animal in this parking lot? You got to do better than that.
And it goes back to what you said. The fact that we have seen Pam, and I'm thinking about my friends that I will ride for, like truly ride for. And if I think that I call that, I ain't gonna say that I use it, because we gonna talk about Aaron, we gonna break him up in here too. But if I believe that my friend died in a fire, the emotion, the screams, the distraught, the unbearable, like just sense of loss that I would have, that was not depicted. You are Karen's right hand. Y'all, they go at it, they go back and forth with their banter, but we know without a shadow of a doubt, Pam gonna ride for Karen. And you think that person, your person, is gone, and I can't tell everybody process stuff differently, but the initial impacts of believing that your girl her body is in that salon, I felt that performance from Angie should have been like top tier, like in that moment for me. Like, I know we saw the preview and you see the girls breaking down, and I'm like, that I need to feel that. Like, and I think that's one of the things I feel like is missing from Sistas, and it's like, and these women are talented women. But it's like when you watch the show, I want to go through the ups and downs, the valleys and the mountaintops with the characters, and I don't get an opportunity to really experience that with these women, and I want to desperately. I want to have that experience watching this show, but Pam was just like, it just wasn't there. So even with Aaron, baby, I was not expecting that. That was my shock factor for tonight. I was not expecting Aaron to go off on her like that. Like baby, it came out of no, like,
Did it
oh
come
my
out of
god,
nowhere?
I did not expect him to respond to her in that way.
Okay,
I
real
was
quick, I want
okay
to talk about
with
the
him.
director because we're gonna talk about Aaron in his
Okay,
criticism
okay,
and jumping on
okay.
Pam. But I think it's brilliant. You made the point of like the director making that choice or not pulling a certain performance out of Angie for Pam in this moment. I agree. And then I also feel like if it's not there, and as a director, if you keep seeing it and y'all did do multiple takes, which they typically don't, they move so fast in Tyler Perry productions that they get to do maybe 2 takes, I'm
Hey,
hearing most of the time, then that means that you need a third and you need to try something else. If I can't get the performance of the bawling, crying, and the hollering, and screaming, and the hysteric, then I am trying to rip these damn boards. Y'all gonna let me in this motherfucking salon. Karen is in this
yes,
hole. Y'all gonna let me in
yes,
here. If you can't give us the deep emotional crying, internalized, beating yourself up, then I want to see the rage of like, I am going to will her back to life once I get these boards off this goddamn door and I get this goofy ass man out my face. Because also, what is the damn firefighter who taking over and he's second shift and we don't really know nothing? Where's the police at? Because the firefighters don't even do the
hey,
talking like that. Like Tyler Perry, the way that this is such a pivotal moment in the storyline, and y'all know I don't play about Karen, and the way that we mishandled this in reference to the writing as well, because what in the hell is this little fine ass firefighter who don't know nothing coming to save nothing gonna do? This is not even realistic. Y'all waiting for the coroner for how many hours? Because at this point, we
hours.
seen everybody go to work, and now we seen everybody go to lunch, and Aaron's ass is still losing it at lunch. But
At
go
lunch.
ahead. We're gonna talk about
I mean, they had 4 calls before me, so it's only one coroner in Atlanta. All them
one
dudes
in
that's
Atlanta.
acting every day
The amount
in
of
Atlanta.
scammers and the amount of people robbing people at gas stations, and there's only one. Niggas is get. That's not nice, Erica.
Go on vacation, leave on probation, some leave in a coffin, and you telling me y'all got one coroner that's coming around picking up these dead bodies? Come on now,
No cops. This is a crime scene,
no
but we ain't
police
got no
officers.
cops. And
And
yes,
like you said,
firefighters are the first
that
responders, but the
was
cops are second.
it was distracting. He was too fine. He was distracting. That acting had to match his fineness, and he was distracting. He was too cute. He was too cute for me. I'm like, babe, no, ooh, okay, all right. Angie ain't even shot. Pam ain't crying like that. Who is you? And we should be back next episode. That's where I was.
Even though you are no help, and we need Karen up out of there, sir.
I mean,
No, but okay, you didn't anticipate Aaron rolling down on Pam like that. Okay.
babe, no, I did not. No, I did not. It's your fault. And you know what? I don't really have no smoke for Aaron. I know people probably gonna have something to say about this. At least I believed him.
Mm.
I believed him in that moment because when you are faced with a situation like that, you're looking to blame somebody. And I know, and I could relate to that. When I was 16, my mother was shot in an attempted carjacking.
Mm.
We were living in North Carolina. We came to Florida for Christmas, and it happened. And my mother was able to drive herself back to my grandmother's house. So I'm 16 years old. I walk outside. I see my mom leaning over the steering wheel. I don't know if she's gone.
Oh
I
my
don't know if she's
god.
alive. And she was going to take one of her friends home. And this happened on Christmas. All I could do was think about if my mama didn't have to take your ass home, this wouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, I could believe Aaron. Now, was my anger toward this man, I guess, was it warranted in a sense? Yes, but it wasn't his fault. But at the time, I'm not seeing it. All I know, I'm 16, I'm the oldest. I don't want nothing to happen to my mama, and I know she was taking you home. And if she didn't have to take you home, this wouldn't have happened. Period. And that's all you see. So I believed Aaron. Right now, Pam, you don't do your job. You have asked your job. You play around with this shit. It's your fault. Like, I could believe it. Now, was he right? No. But I believed him. That was a real moment. Like, I believe that he would have, anybody would have responded that way when you've been told over and over and over again that Pam doesn't do her job correctly. That I always gotta double check her to make sure she's doing what she's supposed to do. So in that moment, I believed Aaron, and I think that's what make it. Oh, that's what makes it okay with me.
Yeah. And honestly, y'all, add that to the commentary that we just gave y'all on Angie. Thank God that your mom survived that. Like,
my mom survived, y'all. My mom survived.
I cannot imagine.
I was looking at the comments. Yeah, baby, she made it. Thank God.
Thank God. But that's a great example.
That was an experience. That was an experience.
And you're right. You look to blame. And honestly, like the criticism that we have for Pam, I think that come at its core. What makes for great acting is, do we believe you are that person? And in this moment, I didn't believe that Pam was the right hand to a strong Black woman who is employing her for years, has become a friend who she's riding for, and she thinks that she caused her death. I didn't believe it. But I definitely believe that Aaron is new bae who wants to be permanent bae, who misstepped having a Latina bae come and disrupt what they had going on right when he had gotten the swing of things and was loving his life and loving his woman and doing everything that he had planned, and was trying to get himself about the doghouse, doing any and everything that he could, only to find out that shit might be cut short because she died.
Hey.
I believe everything about Aaron, not even just in like seeking the blame because Pam, you're the one, because honestly, it's not actually Pam's fault, even though she's the one who's that. Well, actually, I'm going to come back to that because it kind of is her fault, but I'm going to tell you why. Aaron has so much with him in that he's been married. This wife blew her brains out in front of this new girl in this actual salon. Like, I got to see all of it. What's his name? What's his name in real life? Kevin put everything that Aaron has experienced this entire series into the moments outside of this damn salon. He wanted answers. He wanted Karen. He wanted Pam to go to hell. He wants Gary to help him. Nigga, I have stood by you and made excuses for your goofiness. Bring your ass now. Call who you can call. Kevin, I don't think y'all ever gonna get me off of Aaron's train. I don't even give a damn what Latina pops up at the parking lot. I'm calling it a thing, y'all. Like, for me, I am finally fully set on the Aaron train in our man. Okay. Now, why I will say that I do think that this is Pam's fault. Because while in general, she's not a stylist, so the stylist should be responsible for their stations, that's not how Karen has her salon set up. She has it where her assistant, her receptionist, her person, as in Pam, is responsible for locking up at night, and that includes checking all of the appliances to make sure that they're off. If Pam wasn't doing it, then Karen would do it as the owner. So I think that at the end of the day, this is Pam's fault, because that has been a communicated responsibility within your job description that you have habitually failed to do, which is honestly a fireable offense. Now, logically, I personally, if it was my salon, the damn hairstylist would be responsible for their stations. But I would have somebody who was double checking. And Pam agreed to double check, agreed to make sure everything is off, and then just didn't do it. So at its core, it's her fault.
That's true. You put it, I can't argue that. I can't argue that. The way that Karen Moss has her shop set up, that's the way that it goes.
Yeah.
And if you've been, given that responsibility, then you should act accordingly. this is the way that it goes. But it goes back to how I feel about the whole Andy Fatima dynamic. I feel like that's Karen and Pam. They too friendly. Like if you're working, I don't like to say people working for me, but if you're working with me, then you're working with me, and I'm gonna treat you as such. We be home girls after we clock out, but when we're on the clock, I just want like a. I don't say no tight shit, but I just feel like people could get the wrong perspective of us if you're my subordinate in a sense, but we're always joking, we always laughing, and when it's time to do your job, like Pam should have been fired a long time ago. You had sex in the closet. I know Karen did, but that's her shop. You had sex in my establishment. You're gone. Like
Really?
you're really Pam had sex with
No,
that
I'm
dude.
saying I know she did it, but I'm like, you gonna fire her over it?
You took your nasty ass in my office and had sex. You know it's half office, half closet. No, no. You gonna be sus. Maybe I'm gonna fire you, but you gonna be on the first and damn final.
See, I don't know. I think I used to, while I was in grad school, while I was in college, I like worked at like movie theaters and restaurants, and at one point I was like a manager at restaurants, and I have done both. Like I've done the super strict role, and then I've also been mad chill. I'm not really too pressed about friendship with subordinates as long as you get your damn work done. And like for me, I don't feel like Andy and Fatima are too friendly because Fatima still gets everything that she needs to get done. They're too friendly when it
Yeah.
comes to Fatima and it doesn't benefit her, but that's a whole other conversation. When it comes
Yes.
down to the employer-employee relationship, Fatima is able to separate the two and maintain that boundary and has respect for her job enough to not compromise it by their familial relationship. That part is the part that I think that Pam is missing. And like I am glad that she hasn't fired Pam thus far. However, burning down my goddamn shop is something that's like, all right now, why are we here?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that way. Like, Pam, you're not a stylist. You literally are here to be the comedic relief, to be the customer service person. You are supporting me, like, not to diminish your job, but what else do you have to do? You can't just make sure, you can't even just be my eyes and ears, my second look. You ain't gotta curl
Yeah.
nothing, braid nothing, wash nothing. You gotta make sure these stylists arrive for their appointments on time, take down people's names and numbers when they call and make appointments, do logistical things. But like your job is literally just to be personable and to double check behind Karen, and you can't do half your job. That's a
She can't.
problem. And
It's
it
a huge.
speaks
It's
to
been a problem.
and it speaks to your lack of respect for not necessarily their relationship, but I think she has a lack of respect for her job. But then that to me brings up the conversation about, okay, so then maybe it's not that you can't be friends with your employees. You cannot be friends with employees who don't have a certain level of drive and ambition in their lives, so that they don't take that part of their lives seriously, because you unfortunately are now exposed to both sides of their life, their career side and their personal side. Those types of people you need to only be friends with. You cannot intermingle in career because they don't give a fuck about their career. But when you have like a Fatima who does care about her career, you can be her friend because she's going to exude a certain level of respect needed to make sure things happen. Or at least that's how I
Yes.
see it.
Yeah. I can agree with that because I remember it was one time where Fatima was supposed to do something for Andy and she forgot to do it. And Andy was like, well, what's going on? She's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, I'll get right on it. That's how it's supposed to be. Karen say something that of Pam about Pam, you were supposed to fill these shampoo bottles. Girl, ain't nobody here. It's like
It
the
don't
response.
matter. It's what I asked you to do. I
Exactly.
pay
It's
your
what I asked you
damn
to do.
salary,
Exactly.
honey.
Exactly.
And I don't know if this is toxic or not, but I've been in jobs where I have been selected to do certain things specifically, even if it wasn't supposed to be my job, because of the type of person
Right.
I am, because of the type of worker that I am.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not unheard of to be like, okay, Pam, you need to cut these, make sure everything is cut off. What if we got
Yeah.
a standout stylist, which I don't think we got, because I think that everybody working at Karen Salon is raggedy as
Yeah.
fuck. But I don't really know their names like that. But what if we got a arrogant Tay up in there, right? Like, what if it's an
Okay.
arrogant Tay style worker? And if y'all don't know who arrogant Tay is, he's like a huge stylist, big with like
Yeah.
Jada Waiters of the world, and does Nikki and like basically can lay a lace, and everybody just loves him, right? What if they working there and they might lay some hair and bring some money in, but they gonna just once the client leave, they just walk off. And it might not be something that you will want to sustain, but as a business owner, that's a decision that Karen has to make. And I'm not saying that this is the case. I'm just giving y'all a hypothetical. That could be something that's going on in the salon where you have a really, 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 really talented stylist who doesn't want to do anything but hair. So Karen might be going behind them to clean. And that's why she's asking for Pam to make sure things are cut off. And right now she's managing it because she just got her salon back. There wasn't no damn people in it for God knows how long because so-and-so
Yeah.
wanted to run off with all the clients. And as a business owner, she has to manage that dynamic until she gets her other people to bring in more money, and maybe she can get rid of them then, or maybe she just loves what they bring to the table. And that's just something that she's dealing with as a business owner. I think that there's so many other things that could be happening. And unfortunately, we don't get the backstory, so we got to guess. And it's not as easy as be like, oh, well, it just shouldn't be Pam's job because she's not the reception. I mean, because she's not the stylist. And I know I have said that before, but in thinking about that, like, y'all, it is her job the moment that Karen says it's her job.
I agree.
But let's go on here to Erin blaming her ass. I was looking at it like, all right, Erin, not too much. The girl looked like this about to be her 13th reason. But then I was like, but go off.
Get it. Get it. Let it out. I was here. I mean, at the end of the day, do I think he kind of did too much? I guess. But I believed him. I believe that the thoughts of this woman that I love, who I believe is carrying my child, body is in there, possibly is in there. And he showed that. Like, I ain't gonna fault the man for that. It was believable. He showed that. And I think that if any, I can't speak for everybody, but there are certain individuals, if you were in that situation, I think the response would be the same, especially if you stand next to the person who you believe is the reason for your loss.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different type of emotion. And people can say, well, I don't think I would. You don't know what you would do unless you've been placed in that situation. And I think what Aaron did was, it was realistic, it was believable. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he get a pass in my book for that. I mean, I felt bad for Pam. She was like, oh my God, don't talk to me.
You're blaming me. You said this is my fault.
It's my fault. It's not my fault. I don't know. I can't. Aaron.
I'm gonna call her
Yeah.
mama.
Yeah, so I gotta call her mom. He was like, no, let's just not until we know for sure. I'm gonna call anyway. I'm making that part up, but that's how she was. And I was like, girl, we really don't know nothing right now. Let us find out, number one, if it's Karen, which we know that it's not, but let's find out if it's Karen, and then if so, then, because don't call my mama about some stuff that it's a you don't know yet.
Call mine.
Don't call.
Call mine immediately.
Let her know that my shop burned down. Let her know.
Call my mama and tell her the shop burned down. Don't call her and say Karen is dead like you went down to the goddamn law firm.
Exactly.
But call my mama and tell her the shop burned down. Call her immediately. Get my people down here because also I got this fine ass firefighter that's not moving fast enough.
Okay. Who don't know nothing.
Okay, so going into Aaron gave Kevin gave a very believable Aaron.
Oh, his
going
performance
off
was
on Pam, but then also Gary. I'm like, I get that Gary's connected, and I've already did a little taste of my overview in that exchange, and I get why he did it, but then I also hate Gary so much, and I'm like, why did you call Gary? Gary don't even like Karen.
He doesn't, but I think that, but he knows that Andy loves her, and also I think, even though I'm not a fan of Gary, I like the fact that the character of Aaron is so accustomed to giving help, giving advice, advising, being there, and this was the first time that I ever saw him be in a situation where he needed somebody else. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought I like that aspect of it. It was just a different thing. Like he's no, he's more so the strong one. They got everything in control, and he was spiraling because I feel like my girl died. I need you to do something. You're connected. Just come. Because Gary kept asking him, what's going on? Just, you know what Karen Sharp is. Just get here. Like, just him showing that assertiveness, like, I'll fill you in later. Just, I need you. And we
Mm-hmm.
don't really don't see that too much from that character. So I really did. I like that.
Yeah, I agree. And Gary came, which
And he came.
begs the question of if Gary actually has a soul or a heart.
Gary, we still don't like you. You better be there for Aaron after everything he done did for you.
After everything behind this
It don't
goofy
make up
ass
for
pop up
nothing. It
wedding,
don't make
it
up.
don't. Okay, good, because it don't make up nothing for me either. And you better
Yeah,
make
oh
sure that the
no.
mayor got something good to say.
Oh yeah, it don't make up for nothing. He was at you with that mock wedding. He was with you when you half choked Andy to death. He came to the hospital. You better show up for him. Shoot, you shoot.
Period. Now,
Yeah.
before we move on from Aaron, and then
Mm,
we're gonna segue into the other Mister.
yes, yes.
Is it? I don't know. I feel like this is just me being messy, and I'm perfectly fine with that.
Okay, go ahead, girl. Be messy. What is it?
Should Aaron have called Zach?
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Girl,
Oh.
first of all, no. I don't believe he should. For what? For what? I know. I wouldn't have called him. What
I
am I
mean,
calling
there's
you
some
for?
people in the chat that are talking about this is Aaron's baby, but we don't know that to be true. As of right now, we only know that this is actually Zachary's baby. So that could be the reason why he would have called Zachary. And again, y'all, I'm just being messy. I think
Well, okay. I can rock with that. But no, I wouldn't have called him. For what? I know. Because the last time we saw Aaron and Zach interact, there was a fight.
facts. I honestly just forgot Steam Plant because I do believe that prior to Steam Plant, that Aaron would have definitely called Zach.
He
But
definitely would have
Steam
called.
Plant changed everything.
He definitely would have called. But that situation, we got into a fight, and then you physically assaulted the woman who's pregnant. People like to downplay that as if Zach didn't
Mm.
put his hands on Karen, or no, he just slightly grabbed her. Shut up. He assaulted her. He assaulted her. How you could spin it however you want to, and then came to her office and offered that sorry ass apology, and then got mad because she wasn't ready to accept it. Bye. But we'll get on him in a minute. But no, he shouldn't have called him.
Points were
I
made.
think, and then word gonna circulate. So I don't. I think that and Aaron gets this thing for overstepping his bounds or doing too much. Fall back. No, he'll fall back.
Mm-hmm.
He'll find out soon enough. He'll find out.
I agree. Y'all, we're going to take a very, very, very brief break before we get into the Zachary Taylorness of it all because he is literally the biggest thing in this episode with so much to dive into. You're currently watching Our Sistas Keeper with myself, Erica Vane at ericavane.com on all your favorite socials. And I am joined by the wonderful, opinionated, super dope, and talented Allie Nick at Allie Nick Official. We will be right back, y'all. Okay, real quick, because I think it's like your audio got out of sync for some reason, or at least I was seeing it. Yeah. Say something. Okay, it's back for me now. Okay, because in actual Discord, it was like I was seeing, hearing you, but it wasn't showing your mouth. But I have everything else muted. Oh wait, no, we still on. And we're back. Thank y'all for being patient with us.
Yes.
Um Zachary Taylor, who technically is a part oh shoot, hold on. Who's technically a part of the Fatima sister storyline because he's not a sister. So we're gonna lump her in here as well. But I don't have no organized thoughts when it comes to how Zach was in this episode, and I have things that like range the full spectrum. So it's going to be a rant and rambly, a little bit unhinged in reference to me, Ellie. What about for you?
I'm gonna let you take the wheel. I'm gonna let you take the wheel for this one.
Okay.
And I'll let you because I know you got a lot to say. So I'm gonna let you have this one. I'll let you go first.
I just honestly, it's some of the things that we talked about already. I am really struggling with how certain storylines are being told. I feel like Zach's character and Zach and Fatima's characters have been, aside from like what's happening with Karen, because right now let's go ahead and say that she's on the bench, okay? But in the main game, Zach and Fatima's character are handling the most important, biggest, like critical storylines that can truly impact the trajectory of this universe, not just in reference to what the characters are doing in the space, right? But like what this show goes on to mean and the legacy that it leaves. Like Zach's character is walking into an era to have a real ass conversation that needs to be had about baby mama culture, about missing daddies in the home, maybe autistic kids, because we don't even know what's going on with Michael and why he don't talk, entering a new relationship and balancing that, and like sacrificing in reference to black women, and it's so many things that are happening when it comes to the Zach and the Fatima dynamic and what their life ensues, and we're just not given enough time, enough intentional dialogue or space to fully explore it the way that it needs to be explored. And for me, if your ass is not going to do it right, then don't damn do it, because it's truly a disservice to the characters and to the women and men who live these characters' lives in real life. Like in real life, like I feel like we have a responsibility as people who are using our art to create mainstream media to do the people that we're showing on screen a service, a good service. And no, that does not mean, at least for me, that everything has to be portrayed in a good light. For me, in art, it means that everything needs to be portrayed in an authentic light. It means that I understand my privilege as an artist to be able to correct things that I might see that's wrong with the actual world when I'm showing something, if I am going to make a change to how a character navigates this particular circumstance in the universe that I created. Like Tyler is touching upon such touchy, important storytelling by way of what many black people might experience right now in America. And again, he's just not doing it well. But then also, you're not actually giving commentary or giving a perspective about it. So it's almost like you putting the shit on screen for your fans or for your audience to consume and not even helping them with it. So at this point, it's just like we're exploiting the story to exploit the damn story. But what else? What the fuck else? I'm going to go ahead on the record and say, and I'm going to include this in my breakdown, and this is what I'm standing on. Don't argue with me, argue with y'all's mamas. That this timeline that we're in right now, Zatima already happened. So we haven't gotten 2B of Zatima, but when Zach said that he's in therapy, I said, oh, so they should have finished airing Zatima before they actually aired this, because Zach has yet to go to therapy in Zatima. So I'm going to go ahead and use my deductive reasoning and say that. And that's cool too. But also, there needs to be more, again, just attention and space given to what the hell does that mean? This man who was adverse to the idea of therapy was actively rejecting it, so much so that it was creating additional tension, and he had attitudes that pushed him into the arms of another damn woman. We don't know how that all played out. Okay, cool. But we do know now that he arrives at therapy and he's trying to heal. Duvall is going to have to do something besides ball up his lips and go silent. He's going to have to do something else besides looking for Fatima to make the answers. Because if your ass is in therapy, I now have raised the level of accountability that I'm going to hold you to. And some of y'all were saying that I was already holding the level too high. Well, good. Oh, well. Oh, well, now it's higher. Now that you have the resources of therapy and somebody to actually talk to, and you are, I'm assuming, having a better grasp or understanding around the importance of emotional intelligence and communication, your ass needs to damn communicate. And to me, when it comes to this, the scenes that we saw play out with Zach and Fatima going to go see Michael, Fatima was doing entirely too much talking. And that's not me coming for her at all. It's me coming for the lack of progression, the lack of growth, the lack of actually showing the fruits of the labor that Tyler Perry is so-called saying that Zach is doing. If his ass is in therapy, it's one thing to have support. I have no problem with him having support in Fatima. But, like, you're about to lose it. You can't handle this. Like, there was so many moments that I'm just like, okay, but you were so gung-ho. We get there. You ready to get back in the car and go home because you see the boy outside on the damn big wheel. But you was just hooping and hollering and screaming about, what if something's wrong? What if it's not rain? What if I gotta go get him? What if? But the moment that you see that what you were predicting is actually playing out, you gonna get the hell in the car and Fatima gotta convince you not to get in the car? Huh? And it's one thing to be mad and to be frustrated and to feel like you're seeing your son's, your life play out in your son's life and you don't even know him yet, so you haven't even built up any type of emotional connection. But then there's an innate thing that happens once you identify and you know that that's your son, so then you feel a certain obligation. Okay, cool, I got that. But watching Zach navigate these scenes, I was just like, this ain't it. But I do want to say that I have empathy for what I imagine it feels like to watch your child go through the slight, the dysfunction, and the disrespect that you experienced as a child. I 100% receive and understand that was one of the points, but I feel like as a writer, I wish Tyler would have at least had more in there that spoke to the commentary of like why this matters or where we're going next. Because for me, in watching the scenes play out, like, I get that Fatima is his rock. I get that she is his support system. But then also in thinking about her and her having a conversation with Andy about not being in school. Why is she not in school? She's not in school right now because of Zach. She's sacrificing her whole career and all her ambitions right now because she is too focused and too busy on what's happening in Zach's life. And now we have another thing because all of his drama seems to grow bigger. And no, this particular thing is not necessarily his fault and not under his control. But we got this black woman sacrificing herself, her hopes, and her dreams behind her love for this man and support of this man. And this man is trying his best to meet her and do whatever. But it's not necessarily, I don't feel like it's his best. I feel like he has to do more. I feel like we have to see him start to do more. Period. Even in the little bit, like Tyler Perry is giving us steps when Zach should be running yards by now. I don't want to just belabor on, but those are just some of my little incoherent, unhinged thoughts. I'm pissed at Zach and I have so much empathy for him, but I'm still fucking pissed at him. Go ahead.
Well, I'll start by saying that I don't like the throwaway lines. Me and Erica had we had a conversation. I'm talking about private. We had a conversation yesterday, and I said, Erica, and I didn't know what was going to happen in this episode, but I know Tyler. I said, Erica, if Zach goes to therapy before any of these women on Sistas go to therapy, so when y'all listen to my review, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm gonna do a whole lot of cussing. Do a whole lot of cussing. And maybe not, maybe I'll chill by tomorrow, but I don't like those throwaway lines. You know, I'm in therapy, I'm trying to do better. So these that was the one thing that pissed me off too, the timeline, because supposedly Zatima was supposed to be ahead of Sistas. Now it's Sistas is ahead of Zatima, and I'm gonna be quite frank. Yes, I watched Zatima, but Zatima ain't that good of a show where they need their own show. The stuff that happened in Zatima can be played out on Sistas. It ain't that deep. That's just me.
My
That's
only
my
thing
personal
is, I don't
opinion.
want so much of the, like, I feel like because they have their own show, then maybe that would give him an outlet to stop putting so much of their relationship stuff on Sisters, so that we could see Fatima with the, like, not going to law school and Zach actually standing up this business, because you're not going to continue to make money if your ass don't do nothing every day but go up to Fatima's job and get on her nerves. But I do feel you, though, because I do feel like there's not, it's a catch
To me, it's
22
not
with a
enough
team. It's
story.
not enough story, but then it's a bunch of drama. It's a
And
lot
that's
of
the thing.
drama.
It's a bunch of drama, not enough story. Zach literally goes to work to do nothing. Zach can work from home. On Sisters, Zach never works.
Never.
Zach is at Fatima's job more than he's at his job. So that was
But
another
needed
thing
an
like this
office.
popping up. But you need office space. For what? You're wasting money. So that was an issue that I had. One of my biggest issues, and it goes back to something that you stated about creating the Zach at the end of the day, and this is how Tyler has fashioned the character of Zach. He has the most powerful storyline to me. The most powerful storyline when it comes to this child, when it comes to dealing with Heather as the mother of his child, and this man that she has around his child. One of the things that I had an issue with, and I know some people was coming for me on my previous on the trailer breakdown when I talked about how not all of a sudden Heather is this money hungry woman. And people was like, "Oh, she's always been about money." And I never said that her intent wasn't to get money from Zach. But I also stated that I knew that Tyler was going to write it to where this woman was going to be proven to be such an unfit mother that Michael had to go into Zach's custody. As if violence and a stable environment is not proven at his house. As if they ain't got no stuff going on over there. And so that was my issue. My issue was I would have loved to see how with Karen's child, we don't know if it's Zach's or Aaron's. But with Heather, we know that that is indeed Zach's child. I would have loved to see how he co-parents with this woman while they're trying to raise their autistic child, the trials and tribulations that come with that. Why does there have to be so much drama in this situation here? And even going back to what you said about Fatima, people who listen to me, they know I've never been the biggest Zatima fan when it comes to their relationship, because I have always felt like Fatima gets the short end of the stick. However, I feel that's what you're choosing. You don't talk about law school. You don't talk about any of that. But the moment Zach say, "I need you to meet me here. I need you to go with me there," you're there. What about your education? What about your goals? What about your dreams? Where are they? They get swooped up in what Zach needs you to do. Why does Zach need you to even be there when he goes to see Heather? They ain't like you going over there, excuse me, to fuck. Sorry. You going over there. I'm sorry. It just happened.
It
You
is what
going
it
over there to
is.
see about your child. Why do she need to be there? I'm like, well, okay, I just want to see your face. I wanted to do this, but I feel like when you're going to therapy, you have to also do the work. Just telling me you go to therapy don't mean a damn thing
At
if you're
all.
not applying the things that you're using. I said Zach can't even go to the bathroom and take a shit without asking Fatima what type of toilet paper to use to wipe his ass. You are not a child. Man up, stand up. And so many people, and I know in the comments too, so many people talk about how much Zach has changed, how much he's such this different person, how he's not the same person. I don't agree with that, because there's nothing that Zach has shown me that has proven he's any different than who he was when he was with Karen. And some people say, well, because he hasn't cheated. I go back to what I said the last time. What's your definition of cheating? What is your definition of cheating? The blatantly the disrespect that we have seen him do. Don't get me wrong, Fatima can't make him crazy too. I stand on that. But I'm just like, and the gaslighting that he does, he's not
Fatima has to
innocent.
stand over Paul naked in a bathtub, and I would love for her to do that. Fatima
Okay,
has to
let's
sit
see
on
how
Paul's
people
couch
see
and
love
say, you know
that.
what? I would love the out of you.
I would love the what? I would love
Fatima
I
ain't
would
done
love to
it.
know I would love to know how you feel inside of me. I would love to know what it's like to scratch my nails
Don't
on
you
your
think
back.
I deeply want to understand how deep you can go, Paul? Fatima ain't
Baby,
say
what?
that.
She is okay. Okay.
She
But
wasn't
that's
in the
supposed to get
elevator
a
saying that. She was in the elevator talking about my man, he's great. And then he comes in there like a
he's
hellion.
supposed to change. So no, and I don't like that, and I don't like that Heather's character, and I could be probably one of the only people. I don't like that Heather's character has to be assassinated for Zach to be elevated and
That
exalted.
part. That
I
part.
hate
And I
that.
wanna jump in right here because I literally wrote down Heather what happened. In watching that, I never was like on Heather's side. Y'all know I was coming for her blue canicle long hair. Yes, I was when she popped up because I wasn't even having it. We was already dealing with a lot in reference to Karen versus Fatima in that moment outside the damn duplex. So I have never been like Team Heather, but exactly what you said, the need to assassinate this other character just so that we can uplift this character when all we have to do is have the character do the damn work, and who this lady is will reveal itself. I felt like the Heather that we were introduced to, yes, was ratchet, yes, was a little uncouth, maybe like a little decorum, but it felt like to me when we first met her, she was a little hood that was going to get what she had to get done. She had sex with
Right.
you, had a baby. That was the one time that she did it, because I don't even know if she has multiple kids, because I don't think that she has multiple kids, but she's about her coin and she's been doing what she had to do this entire time. She did hear that she didn't come up and she been busting her damn back for the last 3 years, so here she is. Now all of a
Yes.
sudden she don't wash the kids' ass, she hasn't potty trained him, hasn't done nothing. I'm like, Heather was never presented like a mother who didn't love her kid. She called that little boy a nigga. She did all types of stuff in the scene, and I'm just like, it don't take all of that. Even if you do want to get to the point where Zach is forced to take the responsibility of the child as the sole parent, there needed to be time there. And I need Zach to show and prove that he can provide a stable environment for Michael. Because for me, right now, it looks like Fatima can provide a stable environment. And some of y'all gonna be in the comment section talking about, but Zach is rich, because I've already seen it. Rich is not wealthy, baby. And rich can be lost if you don't know actually how to manage it. So while y'all out here being cute about this $1.2 million that he's already been spending a bunch of money on, getting a damn office that he don't go to except to play solitaire on a goofy ass laptop and be pissed off at Bryce. He don't know nothing about real estate because he need Bryce to go ahead and make those damn decisions for him. But he don't like Bryce because Bryce like him. And then he got to run back and forth to the damn law firm. So he not even going into the damn office to play solitaire by his goofy ass self. There is no new money coming in because we ain't heard about a deal in 2 damn seasons. Let's be fucking for real. Money goes when you spend it, and it don't just come back because you want it back. I'm sorry. I saw that whole Zach is rich in the comments, and I was just like, I'm gonna tuck it. I'm gonna save it.
And I think that's the thing because, and even going back to whoever commented that, you got to ask yourself, of all the things that you could use to describe Zach, why is rich the thing that's being said about him? Because when people start talking about Zach's character, people love to bring up the fact that, oh, Karen wants his money, as if she's not with a multi-millionaire who can
Who
run
goes to
circles around
work?
Zach with 1.2. People forget that Aaron is wealthy, Zach is rich, and Zach got money. Aaron is wealthy. So there's nothing that Zach can provide financially to Karen that Aaron cannot. We have to understand that. We have to call a thing and understand that that is what is happening. Because people are, oh, Karen want the money. She don't need it. She has a man in her life, if she chooses to have Aaron, who can provide that. And I always go, well, why do people bring up Zach money? Because you have nothing else to bring up
Nothing
about
else
him.
to bring up
People
about
always
him.
say, oh, Fatima values Zach. Fatima uplifts Zach. Think about what you said. What the fuck does Zach do for her? What does he do for her besides giving her an orgasm? What does
And
he
I'm
do?
gonna
What does he
piggyback.
provide?
I'm gonna piggyback on what you just said and was spin it a little bit, because it's also, how do you define rich?
True.
Rich to me, wealth to me is not just financial status. If you only have money and still have no emotional intelligence, no emotional maturity, no sexual discipline, no communication skills, lack of empathy, completely selfish, then your ass might have a bunch of money right now, but you will be broke very soon because you're devoid of everything else in life. You don't have to agree with me, but I said what I said, argue with your mamas.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
y'all want to hoop and holler and be so excited for Zach to have this money, but he's been graced with this money at a time and a space in his life that he's not doing the work to, one, maintain it, two, to grow it, or three, actually appreciate what it's going to do for his life and use it in a way to continue to uplift himself. So it's low-key becoming a curse. Similar to how some of y'all might hit the lottery and then 3 years later you destitute. But y'all don't hear me though.
Especially money he obtained illegally, but we gonna talk about that. That's a whole other topic. But that's a whole other topic. But you know, it is what it is.
And saying that doesn't make me hate Zach. It's calling a thing a thing. I need for this fandom to get to a place where y'all can actually call a thing with these damn characters. You can love them down, you can like them down, but you can be honest about them. And Zach still has a very long way to go. The way that the whole Fatima values her man and Zach, but Fatima don't value herself, and you don't have a problem with that, which is a red flag for yourself.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Because people be real quick. Well, Karen wants Zach. Karen's still pining after Zach. She ain't with him. Now, I don't agree with that. But Fatima's with him. So who really got the short end of the stick there? Because I really want to know, like, and this is coming from a woman to woman, having a woman to woman conversation. It's very difficult for me to believe that there are women, if Fatima was their friend, that would be like, yeah, girl, you better stay with Zach. Girl, you better stay with him. I couldn't fix my mouth. If I knew the things that Fatima was dealing with, that I would tell my girl, you better stay in that. My thing would be, sis, what's going on with you? Forget him. What's going on with you that you feel that's what you deserve at this point in your life? He got the baby mama job, and I have dated someone with kids and 2 baby mamas. Okay, I've been there, but at the same time, there were certain things that he knew I was not going to deal with. Things that were not going to be a staple in our relationship. So you need to fix that, deal with that before there could ever be a you and I. If you don't deal with that, there will not be a you and I. So you know what he did? He got that straight. Because I told you, I tell my intentions up front. I'm not dealing with baby mama drama. I'm not dealing with women calling your phone. It ain't got nothing to do with I'm not dealing with that. And if you as a man can't fix that, what you gonna do with me?
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do with me? Like we're not gonna do this. And I also going back to what you said. Just because someone has a contrary opinion, I don't like Zach. I'm not fond of the character of Zach. But if you listen to my reviews, you know that I will take up for Zach. I will ride with Zach when I feel like he's right. Me not really liking the character has nothing to do with my love and admiration for DeVal.
Mm.
And we have gotten in the sister fandom, it is a mindset that if you don't like Karen, somehow that has to translate into you dragging or dogging Ebony. And those are things that we're going to go into about, like, the things that are going on. Well, I don't know if you was done with Zach.
No, we can definitely go here, because I was honestly going to go to a place of you don't care for Zach. I actually do. And we talked about this too offline in reference to why. Like, I dated a Zach. Like, I have lived this life. I know why certain decisions get made, and I have played myself because I love him. Like, I have done it. So that's also, I don't think I get credit for it when people are condemning me about what I'm saying about Zach, as if I haven't actually lived this life, as if I haven't experienced the same things, a lot of the same things that Zach has done to these women. I have actually experienced. So I feel like I can actually speak to it. And I think we get messed up within the fandom. I think that the part I was going to bring up was, people are very quick to be like, oh, Fatima values Zach, and Fatima pours life or speaks life over Zach and does this and does that. And we don't even realize that half the time, specifically in this fandom, when they're having those conversations, that they're speaking to their internalized patriarchy, because you are not for a second taking into account the nuances of what that woman needs, what that woman wants. And her life is perfectly fine and good if she is serving and self-sacrificing for the needs and wants and desires of this man, because y'all are not including that in the damn conversation. While y'all are 10 toes down on Fatima values Zach, have we seen Zach show her that he values her to the same degree? Because I would argue not, which is why I have an issue with it. Point blank, period. And valuing you, sis, is not him just saying, oh, I love her. God, I love her. She a run or die. That's cute and all. Yeah. And I'm saying that not to judge you. And I put it as a joke because it's not to judge you, because I was that. I thought that was enough. I thought that being the ride or die, being the Yvette, like I used to call, like, our names were saved as Jody and Yvette in each other's phone. Like, that's how true to this I am and being honest with y'all when I'm having these conversations. That's the shit that was saved in me and my man's phones. Be clear. And there was a point in time in life where I thought that was cute. I thought that was what I was supposed to aspire to. I thought that me standing 10 toes down and holding him down and sacrificing certain shit was what I needed to do to be a woman, to be a bomb woman, to be a respected woman within our community. And it ain't enough. Point blank, period. But, baby girl, if you are one of those ones who has decided that that is enough for you, that's fine too. But also understand when you need to go ahead and bow out of conversations that your ass is not ready to meet. And I think that there's a big thing happening within this fandom where, one, you can't have nuanced conversations. Two, you can't have honest ass conversations. And three, half the people, a little bit more than that, don't want to be self-aware. I'm coming to y'all every day on this channel being very self-aware. I just told y'all that I had my fucking man's name saved as Jody and I was saved as Yvette in his phone. I'm telling y'all the damn truth. Coming to you with some real So I don't want to hear nothing else when it comes down to the whole Zach conversation and the things that I say, because I'm speaking from a very real place. And too many of y'all getting online and aren't actually speaking from a real place, aren't speaking from humanity. And that's how y'all are able to demonize people who are behind characters who are just doing their damn jobs very well. Which brings us back to where you were about to go and how y'all are doing Karen, specifically Ebony, which is a goddamn problem, specifically for what has happened recently. We have seen it. We have chosen not to comment on it, except for now we're commenting on it. Because y'all had a problem that Ebony's ass was not at KJ's bachelorette party. Y'all wanted to create all these goofy ass narratives about how this must mean that Ebony is this and Ebony ain't included. This is why Karen shouldn't be on the show. Blase, blase, boom, the woman's mother has passed.
Yes.
Go sit your dumb ass down in the corner.
Yeah.
Please feel stupid if you were one of the ones who was demonizing Ebony Obsidian for not partaking in, because we don't even know that she didn't partake in it. We just ain't see her. And it ain't none of y'all's damn business. I don't even know how we got here, but we here now. Go ahead. Go ahead, Allie.
I mean, you jumped in, but I think that part of the puzzle is vitally important, because you do have other people who have a platform who I feel are not responsible when it comes to this particular issue as it pertains to Ebony Obsidian. When that thing happened with KJ, the fact that KJ, DeVal, and Sky all came out and posted, I think KJ just posted a status, and she was like, I don't play about my castmates, none of them. And then DeVal, posted some people are just private. He didn't say anything that was going on with Ebony at the time. After she posted that beautiful thing about her mom passing, then Sky came out and he was like, yo, we see all the where's Karen? Yeah, it's cute, but it's not cute. Stop. And he talked about how he knows what it feels like to lose a parent. KJ knows what it feels like to lose a parent. And now Ebony has lost her mom. And the sad part is, it's black women who's doing this for the most part. You have Ebony Obsidian, who is 29 years old, Crystal, who is 40, and the fandom want to pit these two women together. And in my mind, I'm like, what pleasure does that give you to do this? It is okay if you're not a fan of Karen. It's okay if you're not a fan of Fatima, but to cause internal, or attempt, because they all good, but to attempt to cause internal issue or paint these narratives that Ebony don't like Crystal, she always got a problem, why she don't never smile in her photos. It's like, oh my God, these people don't owe us anything. They don't owe us a glimpse into their life. They don't owe us their reality. They don't owe us. Some people just happen to be more and more, I guess, they love social media. And if you notice, Manon and Ebony are not they're two people who don't do social media like that. They really don't, but for whatever reason, Ebony is that person that gets that negative backlash, and we have to deal with the reality of what it is. It's because you have this dark skinned woman who is portraying this character who is consistently agitating this light skinned woman. And a lot of times we don't want to deal with that. We don't want to face the colorism issue. We don't want to deal with it. And our me and Erica was having a conversation, and you made a great point. And I said, I said Sabrina's dark skin. I said Sabrina, I don't care how dumb of what she doesn't get the backlash. And you made a great point. You said because she hasn't done anything to offend Fatima. If she would have said something to offend Fatima, she would still be getting the backlash that these quote unquote fans give people. You have people who don't watch the show, people who won't comment on these social media platforms, these fan pages, because they get cyberbullied, because they happen to like the character of Karen, or they just may agree with her action. And I'm like, I'm not trying to tell nobody how to live their life, so this is not what this is, because people can say what they want to say and think what they want to feel. But my thing is, I really wanted the people who was making these negative comments and these negative posts about Ebony and her quote-unquote absence from this bachelorette party, and then finding out that she was spending those last days with her mom. How does that really make one feel? Like, we have to stop this. We want to talk about uplifting and being our sister's keeper, and promoting this sense of peace and wellness and tranquility. Yet any chance some people get, they tear their sister down. And it has to be, addressed. I don't think me and Erica would be given, I don't think it would be irresponsible of us not to talk about this topic and not to talk about these things that we see happening. Like she said, I haven't commented on this about on any other body platform, no social media, anything. But we really wanted to bring this topic out tonight because it is a serious matter. You don't know these people's mental state. We don't know what they deal with. Before negativity is what you reach for, pray for them. Say a prayer. Lord, I may not know what's going on, but just cover them and whatever it is that they're going through before you attempt to get on and use your thumbs to create something negative. That's my piece on that.
Yeah, and we did talk about that. And I think the example that I gave you when it came to Sabrina, I said it would have taken Sabrina saying, I don't know about Fatima. One line in one episode in season 2, and she would have been ethered the entire rest of the series. And it is colorism. It is 100% colorism. And it ties into what I mentioned in reference to people's internalized patriarchy, because the same way that y'all advocate for Fatima, basically forgetting that she has needs and desires only in service of what the hell Zach needs in whatever moment it is in. It goes to me hand in hand with the colorism, because part of the reason why a lot of y'all are just so obsessed with this particular couple is because of the aesthetics. And then also speaking to some of y'all's, because it's not everybody, but people's lack of ability to be able to separate the character from the person, and the trifling messages and disgusting things that have been thrown Ebony's way. That also, I think, speaks to the misogyny that is rampant in this fandom. Like, honestly, it's really disgusting. And if y'all are not new here, then that I go hard for Karen. I also hold Karen accountable when I feel like she need to be held accountable, because I'm going to go hard with, well, not necessarily, because some characters I don't give a shit about. I'm going to go hard about the characters I really care about. I go hard specifically for Karen, not just because I've been her or have experienced a lot of the similar life things as her, but I go hard for Karen because I feel like Karen as an ideal, or as a figure, represents all Black women. And because this fandom doesn't think twice before calling her bitter, because this fandom doesn't think twice before calling her angry, doesn't care to actually be empathetic to the things that she's experienced and how she chooses to respond to them, it's a direct mirror to the struggles and the hassles that Black women have to experience in real life, because for whatever reason, our asses are the only ones who are supposed to be superhuman and have no reaction to disrespect, have no reaction to dismissal, have to work 3 times as hard to get half as much, and all of that is supposed to be okay and done with a damn smile. I don't even know this girl Sukiana, but there's this thing going around right now on social media where some rapper tried to shove his goofy ass tongue down her damn throat, and another one sexually harassed her. And there's a big discourse on, well, she dresses sexually, so she deserves it. No woman deserves it. Consent is real. And for me, in watching how this fandom displays their conversation and their thoughts around what's happening with this very fictitious show. You don't have to say it and be facetious because I know it's a fictitious show. To me, it mirrors also what we're experiencing in life. Y'all think it's okay to sexually assault Sukiyana because you think that black women are just angry and bitter and don't need to have no reaction to the goofy shit that you do. You think that we don't deserve boundaries. You think that we don't deserve respect. You think that we don't deserve honor. You think that we don't deserve loyalty. You think that we don't deserve committed relationships in which our partner meets us halfway and doesn't depend on us overly for emotional support and communication, coming to the table with less than. So I go so hard and I speak specifically about Karen because also I'm speaking about us. Every last black woman who can hear us right now deserves better, is owed better. And for every last black woman within this fandom who is finding a way to demonize Karen, I'm sorry. Whoever hurt you. I'm sorry that you can't see yourself, let alone see yourself in some of these characters. But you deserve better. We all deserve better. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there because I'm getting mad.
Okay, don't get mad. No. Don't get mad. But, yeah, we just wanted to bring that. We just wanted to speak on that. Because I know I have gotten personal DMs from people who have asked me certain questions. And I have refrained from answering them. The only thing I told someone is that, Ebony and no one else owe us anything. No insight into their life.
Nothing.
They don't owe us anything. And I just kept it at that because I knew we were going to talk about it. And I just feel like, and I know a lot of people do bring it up in the lives or even on our personal channels about colorism, and I think this is the most in-depth we really talked about it. I think maybe we touched on it before, but not, in depth. And so it was just vitally important that we brought that up because when you have, colorism, when you have people who cannot separate reality from fallacy, a character from the talent, it becomes problematic, and it is a deep issue. It is a deep-rooted issue, and so we just wanted to talk about that and
yeah. And before we even move on from here, our show is called Our Sistas Keeper. That was a very intentional decision, and I think a very truly fitting one. The way that we show up and we are taking care of one another, the way that Allie is able to take care of me, the way that I am able to take care of her, is to be able to speak truth to light and call a thing and have these very open and vulnerable conversations in this way, calling people out, calling people in, doing what we have to do, standing up for one another. So again, we standing up for Karen half the time because too many of us are turning on us. And for me, it's not necessarily even about the toxicity and the problematic nature of what you're thinking, because you don't just wake up and become non-toxic. You don't just wake up and become unproblematic. It's what we do with those thoughts. You think that Karen is bitter? Before you spew that shit online, ask yourself, why do I feel like Karen is bitter? Why do I think that Karen is angry? Why do I not like Karen for being mad at Zach for leaving her and she really wanted him? Why don't I understand why Karen is chasing Zach in this moment? Why don't I understand that Karen could be mad that Zach is fighting Aaron? Why am I mad at Erica for saying that Fatima deserves more in her relationship with Zach? Start here. Too many people are out here on this good internet, and they want to spew out their initial thoughts, and y'all ain't processed. And it's one thing if you're gonna give a disclaimer like we did at the start. But y'all ain't giving no damn disclaimer, and we can read it, but it's annoying us, and it's not our job to unpack all this for you. But we have definitely digressed. But like you said, I think we definitely need to speak to what we just shared. I think that if anything has shown that our show is named correctly, is this segment that we just did just now.
Yes.
Going back to Zachary and Fatima in this episode. Where were we?
Girl, I don't know. I think we were in the house. They
Okay.
see him outside. We get to the house. And like I said, I had some issues, so I didn't see everything that happened. But it was just like,
Oh, wait. I just thought about something and I want to say it before because I want to tag it on and I want to bring it up later because I don't want to rehash.
okay.
But also, in being our sisters keep, this came to mind for me and showing up. Protecting Karen is also protecting Ebony. Ebony is the youngest one on that fucking cast.
Yes, she is.
And the way that people are doing her is disgusting. That is little sis. Cut it out. Cut it the hell out. Check your bullshit. Okay, go ahead. We in the house.
We in the house. And, we find out that Michael doesn't speak. We find out that Michael, how old is Michael? 3? He's 3.
Mm-hmm.
He's not potty trained. We find out Heather B. I didn't even realize that was Heather B. that was in the window telling them all these things that, CPS has been called multiple times. The way that, Heather talks to him, which goes back to what I was saying about the assassination of her character to make Zach look a certain way. I don't know what all went on in the house other than the boyfriend saying, like, did he bring the money? I'm taking care of your child. I don't know, so you may have to help me with that. I don't know what all took place within the household.
That was pretty much it. A bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. The nosy neighbor overstayed her welcome. You gave a little bit of context. Okay, cool, but it also was overdone. It was too much. I didn't know it was had to be. Okay, girl.
Yeah.
And honestly, if we were going to go down the route of Heather is an unfit mother, cool. But like, let's have a little bit of more nuance. Let's massage this thing a little bit. Because having a neighbor hang out the window and talk about you can call CPS 4 times. So then now we didn't enter the conversation about how our systems are failing us. But you're going to put that out there and throw it away and never revisit it again. And it's just like, don't do that. Why are we doing it? We got people saying a bunch of things that could go places and then we never go.
Right.
Now he looked like a fake Michael Child White.
That was funny. Who said it? Simply, Giovanni, is that how you pronounce it? That was funny because, baby, that is absolutely correct.
I don't even know where he came from. What I will say, I don't know the actress who plays Heather, but I believed her. Even with all the bullshit that she had to say and do, I believe she committed to every single line. She committed to every single.
She is proper. She is proper speaking. Do you understand me?
Really?
I've seen her in other things. She's proper speaking. So the fact that she is believable as Heather, that says a lot because she's talented. She don't talk like that. Yeah, she don't talk like that.
I just am like, now we have to believe over the course of one episode that Heather don't give a shit about this baby at all.
Exactly.
Like, she don't give a shit at all. But she cared enough to have her sister watch him. If she really didn't care, if she just got up shit you said, then she would leave him all night.
Leave him by himself. She cares. That's something that don't make sense. She's such an unfit mother. She's so bad. But when she goes to work, her sister is there watching her child. Really, Tyler? If you gonna let her be all these things, then let her be all these things.
Yeah.
Let her be. He there by himself. He sleep anyway. He ain't gonna wake up.
Yep.
Like, come on.
And it'd be 3, maybe pre-K.
That leave their children home by themselves. I'm not saying it's right. But I do know there are some, and I think sometimes we miss the fact that everybody is not great blessed in the sense of where they have family or community, but they got to make that money. So I have to work overnight. I'm going to go to work with my child. I'm going to feed them, bathe them. They're going to go to sleep. They're going to sleep for 6 hours, so I know they ain't going to wake up. It's sad, but that does happen. Does that necessarily make someone a bad parent? But these things do happen. And going back to what you said, like, there are real situations, real people who live this life. Humanize them. Don't just make Heather be like, oh, she's just this horrible. Not humanize that. Why is she stripping? Did she graduate from high school? Is it hard for her to get a job? Like, because how does it give us a lot of information about these characters? You have to, like, create your own backstory. So it's like, why is she even doing this in the first place? how much money is she really making if baby girl is getting hyped off of you giving her a measly $2,000 a month? That's probably her rent. If that, if she's not getting subsidized housing or something, but it's like, I'm not a fan
And
of
then
it.
why did
It's
she
such
even go forward with having a baby by a stranger that she slept with one time and to carry
a
it and then
time.
keep for 3 years on her own? Like, she just was set up differently. If you wanted her to be this raggedy hooch, then she should have been set up differently. Period.
Yes.
Because she don't give a damn
Yeah.
about the boy, but she had him, and she don't have no other kids.
Right.
So she
And what was
anti
the
she
other thing?
anti-abortion because it don't give, like, you also are giving me like she don't have. It don't give me that she don't have morals. It seems like she has a little bit of something to her in reference to moral code. Like, it's
Right.
inconsistent.
Right. Like I just don't. It's not believable to, like, she played the role, but the character and totality of her being this mother that doesn't care about her child, I don't believe that.
Right.
And I think even going back to her conversation when she first popped on the scene with Zach was like, "Well, how I know it's my baby?" And she said, "I'm a stripper, not a hoe."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't sleep around. I don't, like, for whatever reason she gave it up to Zach. I don't know why. I mean, Zach is fine, so maybe
He is fine, honey.
the balance fine, baby. Okay, but anyway, she did what she did and ended up getting pregnant, but she let it be known, like, I wasn't out here sleeping around. I know that you're the dad. Like, I know you are the father. Even when she went to Karen before, she was like, well, I'm gonna take him off. I'm gonna go, whatever she said to Karen. She was like, he does care about you. She didn't come off as this conniving individual that, Tyler has, fashioned her to be at this moment. So, child.
And I know I said initially that I needed more from Zach. I get that there could be a place where the Zach character can't find the words, so that's why I'm just so mad, I'm gonna lose it in that moment. But also, no, I feel like, why were we watching it? I feel like we were only watching that scene for him to establish how trash Heather was.
The thing I disliked, because I did give Zach grace in the moment when he was like, like, I put myself in the, well, I'm a woman, so I wouldn't know if I'm having a baby, but you have been living your life, and now you find out that you have this child, and at that moment you are a father, and you have to think differently, do things differently. Your whole entire world, as you know it, has changed forever. So the uncertainty in that, I don't expect him to automatically be super dad, but that's, to me, that's how Tyler kind of trying to make him, which ain't believable to me. But I do understand how do I maneuver in this now, being that I'm a father. So that, I felt that in that moment when they were in the car heading over there, and him having flashbacks of his childhood. The only thing that got me is that, okay, now we get into this house, the baby outside, this going on. As you stated, it was only to establish the fact that Heather is unfit, she don't care, she money hungry, and she's just unfit to have this child in her care. And I just couldn't vibe with that.
So, two things. That was the number one thing that was being established. But then the second thing to me is you reinforcing the fact that Zach is your favorite. Because regardless of what situations he's going to go through, there are people around him to pick up the slack and do what he is unable to do. This scene literally was to confirm that Heather is trash and that Fatima is going to continue to sacrifice herself to show up and bridge the gap for Zach. And yes, I get it's all for good reasons and she's supporting her man and yada, 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 his trauma. Cool. But also not necessarily cool, because we have yet to get any kind of glimpse or peek into how Zach is going to reciprocate this in their relationship, in their marriage. So when Fatima earlier in the episode sits across from Andy and says that she's been avoiding setting a date, and then we don't even get the full-on conversation of that, because, girl, you're avoiding setting a date because you have upended your life for this Negro. You have upended your life. You have sacrificed so many of the things that you want and that you desire, and you're not seeing that sacrifice back. You have only seen trial after trial after trial. You've only been further questioned. You have been mistrusted. So many things have happened, and you are not reaping the rewards for the sacrifice and the investment that you made. And I know that y'all all get a little bit tricky around the conversation around investment, but Fatima has been investing in Zach the same way that Karen was investing in Zach. And you haven't set a date yet, honey, because you don't know if you will ever receive a return on your investment. And know that it's not money for Fatima specifically. That looks like emotional intelligence that can support her when her best friend tries to betray her man, when her boss might get in the way of her actually getting to where she needs to go, whatever life things that might come up for her, the same way all these life things are coming up for Zach, and she is standing there right there immediately. We have yet to see that he is actually going to be able to be there. And yes, I did give the example of her best friend trying to sleep with him, and he did the big spoon, little spoon. Okay, cool, but then what else? Because that's not going to sustain that relationship. He has yet to even cultivate the communication skills that they need to be able to match and meet her where she's at. Because not every relationship is going to have issues, right? They're going to come across, drama and things. They're not going to agree about things. But how we have seen certain arguments play out, he don't have the communication skills either. And it's like, y'all, there has to be something. Zach can have all the damn money in the world, but Fatima was not hurting for money.
Right.
She came into this relationship wanting companionship, wanting partnership, wanting support and love in the way of emotional, mental, and spiritual security. You know that this girl has a relationship with God. Where's Zach's relationship with God at, y'all? I ain't heard of it.
Maybe we'll get a church episode. maybe we'll get something, maybe.
Angie says, I don't think that there's going to be a marriage.
That is a great. I'm with you.
At this point in time, I don't think that it should be.
It should. I don't think it should be. And then I think when Fatima was like, I just want to know, I just want to know what I'm getting into. Sis, you've been known. You know what you're getting into, regardless of the fact that baby is Zach's or not. You know that there is a possibility that you're going to walk into this marriage or walk into whatever with him having 2 children and 2 baby mamas. That is a possibility. So you know what you're walking into. What you know for sure at this moment is that he has a child. Period. He has a child. That much you do know, and you know the nature concerning that child's mom. Are you willing to deal with that? If that baby that Karen is carrying is Zach's, are you willing to deal with that? Fatima still has insecurity concerning Karen, whether people want to admit it or not. She'll give a damn about Heather. Karen is different. We saw how Zach ran up at that law firm when he found out that possibly that Karen is dead. It's still not that he wants to be with her, but there is a genuine love there. Fatima face, I don't think this was happy how he ran out of there.
Yes, and we're going to talk about that. I like, you saying that she knows what she's getting into just hit me, because when I heard it, I was like, okay, I get that. You don't know what you're getting into. And I kind of looked at it like, you don't know if you are walking into saying okay to the lack of a lot. Because we know that she hasn't gotten a lot. And when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, you don't know if it's never going to show up. Because a lot of us go into these relationships and we concede and we make adjustments and we support our man and we're pouring into him and we're speaking life over him. And we're just hoping that our part comes later. And that's what I was looking at it with. But when you said it, it's like, that is true. She do know. You have gotten a very, very large scoop taste of what your life will look like with Zachary Taylor, Fatima. You have gotten that. You right, Allie.
She know. Like, and that's what you want. Because in my mind, and I know this part of the team hasn't come out yet, but it's like when I looked at Zach tonight, you're going through therapy, you're doing this. What the hell have you done that could possibly make her want you back on Fatima? If this is what you're presenting, like that.
Well, she actually didn't. She didn't leave until the idea of he slept with Connie, even though there was plenty of things. The way that he dismissed her at that damn hospital would have been over.
And it says a lot. Like it says a lot. Like I understand people rallying for this couple. I understand people, saying Fatima's a ride or die. Like, I understand all of that. I do. But when it get down to the nitty gritty of when your penis can't satisfy our issue, your tongue can't satisfy our issue, you saying sweet nothings can't satisfy the issues that we're having, and we must have effective communication, and you can't perform in that way, why am I with you? Penis is running rapid. If that's all I want, that's easy to get.
That is easy.
It's easy. If I want a genuine connection, if I want someone who is a spiritual, centered individual, if that's important to me, their prayer life, who you seek guidance from, who is governing your actions, that is important to me. And if you exemplify that, that's why we gotta stop having sex so quick, women. Now, I ain't gonna lie. If you want to get something, that's your business. But for me, right. It's like sex is such a powerful thing.
Yes, Lord.
I'm like, take it out. Get to know that person. Or if you have sex, stop having sex with them. Have a genuine conversation with them and see if it don't disgust you.
That is so
or see if it uplifts you. See if it broadens, make you think differently. Because I'm a person who sex is beautiful. Sex is powerful and it's great. But if you can't stimulate my mind, I am not the one for you.
At all.
I'm not. Mental stimulation, that's key. Spiritual. You have a relationship with God, that's number one. Mental stimulation it has to be, because I can't be with no dumb brother.
Same.
I can't.
Child, and I had gotten to know this guy before. I've talked about this before in my videos. I gotten to know this guy before because it takes me a while. Like but this guy, it took the shortest amount of time. It takes a minute with me because I actually have to give a shit about you before I'll sleep with you. And when I tell you, sex is a very powerful thing because it had me in this cycle with this man who had the personality of a goddamn thumb, but was blessed.
So that had to be a bomb. That had to be like, baby.
When I got down to I was planning my life with this man and had pretty much nothing in common. Wow. And just bending and all he ever wanted to talk about was guns and because he was in the military before and was a cop. When I think back on that, I'm just it was the same.
It's something.
But that doesn't last long. It doesn't, because you can't build a relationship off of that. It's great in the moment, but it. So go ahead and help yourself to not. If you're young, experience it, cool. But be for real.
If you young, do what it do. Be careful with what you're doing. But do what it do. Protect yourself. And I'm not saying because you're young, I'm not telling you got your thought and body. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is never lose sight of value of self. Because when you truly value yourself, there are certain things that you're not going to allow in your personal space. I don't care how good you want to try it, how good he look, how good she look. When you are in a different place mentally and emotionally and spiritually, those things that turned you on at 21 ain't gonna turn you on at 27. And some of them things that turn you on at 27 ain't gonna turn you on at 35. And that's why even if you're married or you're in a committed relationship, you have to commit that I'm going to love this person that I married at 27 who's now 35 and he's doing some stuff that he wasn't doing then. He's doing some stuff he wasn't doing 8 years ago, and I love him at this stage in his life. And when you think about that, I don't play about marriage. I don't play about marriage. Yeah. I don't play who I commit myself to, because I am making a choice and a commitment to grow as an individual and then consistently grow with you. And that is something that I want. If a team and Zach gonna be together, I want to see that. I don't want to see her continuing to fix his problems. I don't want to see her do that. I want to see her being comfortable and safe to rest that my man got me outside of money and outside of sex. I want to see that.
And I've never been married, so I'm going to go off of what I imagine this to be. But in piggybacking on what you're saying, that looks like within your relationship there has to be space for the two of you. You commit when there is space created for the two of you. Right now, there's only space created for Zach and his life. And Fatima has to get in how she fits in, and she has to contribute to his life as much as possible. And that is what's keeping their relationship moving forward. There's no space created for her, which is why you're going to come into problems later on down the line, and why we're saying that they actually should not get married, because they're starting a relationship off with not enough space built in to handle what it looks like when she goes through a phase and don't want to have sex with you, when she's hyper focused on law school and really just trying to get this degree and pass the damn bar, when she is cleaning house with her homegirls and she has no damn friends because she's realizing how backstabbing them bitches is, and now she got to rebuild, when she is insecure about how she looks as she's aging, when she is having babies and then going through postpartum. If you don't create space right now for her in her life, there's no guarantee that you are going to be able to do it when shit really get real.
Facts. Those are facts. Those are facts.
The biggest part of this episode was the whole Heather, Zach, Fatima, and the boyfriend thing, and it was the most disappointing part of the episode for me. Introducing that Michael don't speak, and it being so trivial and throwaway, but because it's also tied to Heather don't love this kid, don't give a damn about him, and how she's referring to him while he's right there. There also wasn't a strong enough tie, in my opinion, to, is the boyfriend abusing her domestically? Like, does he have her locked into this? Does she feel fearful of him? Because it didn't feel like she was actually fearful of him. I feel like that would have given us a little bit more context if she got this man here and he's just doing too much and she's afraid of him. That would have given her at least a little bit of redeeming something in this new scope of what he was crafting for her character.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I like what Erica Ingram said. She said true, because he has all this drama and she really has no drama at all. And I think that has been a downside in their relationship. Like, all of this stuff is Zach heavy. Is Zach's drama, is Zach stuff, is Zach. And I feel like, to me, that is not, just for me, I don't feel like that is an accurate depiction of a healthy relationship, because as an individual, we all have baggage, we all have things that we're working through, we all have things that we're dealing with. And I know Fatima has that, and one could argue that she has those things, but she's with a partner who she don't feel comfortable enough to expose that side of herself with. Also, if that is the case, then why are you with your partner? If he is just like Zach stuff, I mean, you can't hide it. You can't hide no child. You can't hide the fact that you had sex with your ex. Certain things you just can't hide. And it's like, for me with Fatima, sometimes I don't really think about Fatima because I don't know much about her. Like, she, and I know I got into it, but me and this person that came in my DM, she was like, why don't you like Fatima? And I said, it's not the fact that I don't like Fatima, but I don't think about Fatima. I don't think much about Fatima because all Fatima's stuff is attached to Zach. We got to see the end thing on Fatima, but what happened with that? There's nothing. Like, this woman is not perfect. This woman is flawed. This woman has issues, and it's like, Tyler, if you ain't gonna bring this up, like, I ain't gonna be mad if she has sex with Paul. Get it, he fine. Let her do something. Like, let Fatima do something that shows the humanity and the flawed nature. Because I feel like Fatima is flawed altogether, but that's just my perspective of her. But let her actions show a flaw, a deformity of some sort. Like, I think it's vitally important, because it's not just, I don't think that's fair. Like, in their relationship, I don't think that's fair. Like, it's not all that. It's not.
Yeah. And again, we've already said this, but like, for little Michael specifically, if we're not actually going to go in and tell the story of a little non-verbal child,
yes,
don't start it.
Don't do it, and don't make a mockery of parents who are really dealing with that. So if you done presented this child to be autistic and he doesn't speak, do it. Just please do it with grace, and do it with honor and respect for people who are actually dealing with an autistic child who's nonverbal.
And we don't know if he's autistic, but just in
we don't know if he's autistic. We just know he's nonverbal. Because I have a friend who has twin boys, and they're autistic, and they're not one is severely nonverbal, but he will sing. Like he don't talk, he don't talk. But singing, oh my God! And then when the song go off, he back to and it's like respect people, honor that demographic, and do it the right way if you're going to do it.
Yeah, because like, why is he not speaking?
Right.
Is it the trauma that he's experienced?
Right. Is something happening to him? But there is something happening to him. Like, and I just don't, and sadly, I don't trust Tyler enough. I don't. I don't trust him enough.
Same. The boyfriend talking about where the money at. I just feel like it was so much new information in that scene. And that's probably also why it was so off-putting. Because we got Heather is completely trashed now. Michael don't speak. Nosy ass neighbor is called this. And we got a boyfriend who just wants the money and might be knocking Heather upside her head and might be mistreating Michael. Like, it was just entirely too much.
It was too much. It was too much that to be the last scene that was stuck in like 2 minutes or a minute and 15 seconds. It was a lot. It was a lot.
How do we feel about the boyfriend?
I don't know, because I really didn't see him. First of all, the fact that you asking another man, or asking him, did he bring the money, where the money at? I'm taking care of your child. It's giving little dick energy. It's giving toxic. It's giving. He might be laying it well for Heather, like for her standard. Yeah. But I just can't see no man that I'm with asking another man about money. If you think, like, I don't know, that was a turnoff. Like, he automatically is like, you need to go. And what do you do, sir?
What do you do? Because Heather also didn't mention you. So where the hell did you come from?
I forgot. Isn't he a part of Chain Breakers? So shouldn't Fatima know him?
I didn't know that. He's a part of Chain Breakers?
Because she got Hayden's information from her man that's in Chain Breakers. So I'm like, does Fatima, is she aware of this connection? Like, does she know him?
Like Fatima ain't been back to Chain Breakers ever since she scooped Zach's ass up off of her windshield after she hit his ass.
She ain't been back. See, ladies, that's what toxic penis do. It will make you stop your job. It will make you stop working. You
done forgot your routine.
You done forgot. She ain't been back. You gotta leave toxic penis alone. It's not healthy. Not healthy.
I think that's something that might develop if Tyler Perry pulls on that little string that he laid out, because I did forget that she did get information for her boyfriend. From Hayden. Whole thing's ghetto. The episode to me was just too much of a mismatch of like a bunch of going on, which a lot of them have been, I guess, recently. Like a lot of things are just thrown in there. While Zach has been entrusted with, I think, the most important storyline and the story that his character is supposed to tell. Y'all know that I am here 110% for Karen and what the hell is brewing back there, but we just gotta wait it out. We got a couple more episodes where she's not actually going to be on screen. I don't know if we're going to see her next episode, but I do believe we're going to see her in episode 5.
Yeah, I think episode 5. I don't think she's going to be on episode 4, but we don't know, child.
Is that everything? Did we get everything from Tarai this episode? We done gone a little bit longer than we had anticipated.
We went long, y'all. Sorry. We went long. Y'all, and for the replay people, y'all can watch it increments. It's all good. What I was gonna say? I was looking at some of the comments.
Oh yeah, let's go through some of the comments. And if you want to sound off,
that toxicity is not good at all.
Yes. If you want to sound off, request to join us on Twitter Spaces, and we'll patch you in to be able to speak. But let's go through some of these comments, y'all. Y'all was going in tonight with each other.
Yeah.
There's a couple of new faces up in here. Welcome to the community, but also know if I ain't for you, that's cool too. Just
That's
to keep it
true.
a buck.
That's true.
Because there was a lot of Zach is rich. Fatima loves Zach. Oh my God, Zach. And this is probably just not the best place for you if that is what is consumed with your mind. There are plenty, though. There are plenty of misogynistic, patriarchal content creators talking about sisters. You will literally not miss them. So go
Because
follow.
I don't think there's many of us out here. It ain't many of
There's
us
not
out
many
here.
Allie Nicks or Erica Vanes.
No.
It's literally just us. we searched.
Literally.
We searched because this was initially going to be an ensemble show with
It
a
was.
plethora of people, but we could not find other sensible, self-aware. I'm gonna leave it there because I'm not trying to come for my peers, but
Correct.
you know.
Correct. Correct.
I think that Christina is back from last week and requested on.
On Twitter.
Yes. Christina, you still there, honey?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
So I have to agree with y'all with the way the stories were going today. It was a lot of material that had good basis for like amazing stories, but Tyler did not expand on them, which made me very upset.
Mm.
Also, the entire like Q and Maurice situation, useless. Let's talk about Hayden and Tamara at this doggone airport.
Child, did we talk about that? We forgot. We forgot about that basic ass Miami trip.
Like, why we need that? Why we need it?
Tamara, stop calling him daddy. I don't know if it's a thing. And actually, me and my homegirl had this conversation because she dates older men and I don't. I can't get with it. And I never understood the phenomenon that was calling men that we were romantically involved with daddy. And my friend had to explain to me, well, Erica, you have a father that you actually call daddy. So that's probably why it's weird for you. But it is so weird for me to see that. It really is. I just could never imagine it. Ever.
Well, my father is not in my life, and I would never call him
What I would like
daddy.
to add is with the Zach and
Gotcha.
Fatima situation. It's clear to me that Fatima is tired.
Is it?
You think so?
Yes, like if well, not tired in the sense of her relationship with Zach, but like all the stuff that keeps piling on top of her, and we already know she don't communicate because she feels like she don't have a safe space to communicate because Zach don't give her the space to communicate, so she holds it all. And I think that's also what contributes to like the explosive moments she have, or the moments where she just goes without talking or like explaining what's going on. Today's episode when she was in the car and she was like talking to Zach, she was like, "Babe, are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." She was like, "No, you're not, because I feel it." Zach don't do that for her, so she doesn't have room to express what she actually feels because she too concerned with Zach and his problems. She don't cut out any space for Fatima time, and that's not how that's supposed to be. If she don't have the space to decompress, I feel like she gonna be a ticking time bomb.
That's what I was about to ask you. I was about to ask you, what do you think happens next with her if she is basically like really coming up upon her breaking point?
I feel like it's a ticking time bomb. It's like Ali said a few minutes ago. We don't really know much about Fatima. We know she comes from a gangster family. We know she been hurt with Ian in a situation. But what was that situation? We done seen her parents' dynamic. And have y'all caught up on Zatima yet?
Just from the first half of season 2, that's all we've seen thus far. Because we still wait for them to release it.
Because I was about to say something, but I don't want to say.
Wait, the second half is out?
Yes. Oh, shoot. Nope, wrong thing. Sorry.
I'm about to say, girl.
I was about to say, hold on. Okay, second half. So y'all remember the last episode when it went off, and it was like Fatima's mom and her stepdad, and then her stepdad was like, they had been talking about her father, and then they were like, we got to tell her, and it's like, tell her what? What is the situation? What's the situation with her father? What's the situation with her stepfather? Why is her mom behaving the way she's behaving?
Yeah.
Once, once again, we
Absolutely.
have the bones for an amazing character, but we're not expounding on it, which is frustrating. So I
Very.
feel like she about to explode because it's so much at one time and she don't have nowhere to release it.
Mm.
And
There's
then it
that look
goes
of like
back
what's going
to,
on.
yeah, and then it goes back to, like, as a woman, how long do you stay? You'll have a woman who, like a Karen, who will invest 3 years in something that you're not getting that same, it's not being reciprocated. Why are we staying so long in these situations that don't benefit us? That's not growing us. That's not, there's no maturation in these relationships, but, oh, I love him. I remember I told my brother, he was giving me some mess about this girl. He was like, man, but I love her. I said, I not to sound cliche, but what love got to do with it?
Ooh.
Is love worth you not growing in this? Can you love somebody enough to let them go even though you know it's gonna hurt you? That's love to me. When
Mm-hmm.
I know there is nowhere else for us to go but apart, I'm not gonna hold on to you because I feel like that's detrimental. I love you enough to see you grow, even if it's not with me. And I feel like I've never understood why Fatima is with Zach ever. I never understood, and I guess that's my thing. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know why
And
she's
I don't.
there.
It seems like from when we first saw Fatima in season 2, I feel like her character is slowly deteriorating because
I
we all
understand that.
remember the one we saw in season 2. From season 2 to season 6, it's like total different direction, and it's for the worse. And it's because she's so tied up with Zach's issues that she don't have time to deal with her own. So it's a lot of backwards progression.
Yeah.
Bottom line is Zach needs a
Great.
lot of maturing,
Yes.
emotionally especially.
Yeah. We
I
didn't speak on I don't know if because we are trying to do a great job of like giving the whys and giving more like actionable things as well when we give certain criticisms. Let's talk a little bit about why this scene specifically of her going with Zach to see Michael, um, why her taking a back seat and not prioritizing Zach so much is needed. Because I know that we're going to get a ton of comments back about like y'all just don't want her to support her man and y'all just independent women who are like I just can y'all don't
You can
understand the
support
amount of
your
comments
man,
that we
but
get.
also make sure you supporting your mental health and well being also. It's a difference. It's a relationship.
absolutely.
It's not a place where the only attention I'm focusing is on a man. No, your man ain't in a relationship by himself. You in there too.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
means you should have room just like he has room to work with y'all issues. But Fatima don't have that.
Agreed.
She doesn't. She doesn't. And this is the relationship that people depict as the standard.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes back to, how do you really value yourself? How do you value your friends? If Fatima was your friend, how would you maneuver that relationship knowing what you know about this guy that she's with? And I'm not saying that Zach isn't worthy of love, but what I am saying that Zach is not in a position to reciprocate the type of love that he claims that he wants.
Mm.
I don't see. And I feel like I was saying, even with the guy I was saying at the time, like, this is somebody I was in love with. He had the kids, but I let him know in the very beginning, those are your kids. Your kids. If you spend the time with them, you spend time with them. I'm gonna be here chilling. When you're done, then you come see me. But those are your kids. Cultivate that relationship. Do what you gotta do with them. I don't have to go with you to go pick them up. And then my thing is, if you want me there, what are you concerned about? You concerned you finna slip up and be with old girl again? Like, I need to know those things. And I feel like with Zach and Fatima, when I look at her character, I'm like, I don't know much about her, but what I do know is that Fatima desires to be loved. She
Mm-hmm.
desires to have something healthy, but the person that she's with is incapable of giving her that right now. So it's like, what you gonna do? You gonna stick until he becomes that person? What if he never becomes that? You can't get mad at him and say you wasted 3 years of my life. No, baby, you chose to invest that. You weren't getting a return. You weren't getting no dividends in the midst of that three, but you decided to stay. And unfortunately, that is the narrative for a lot of women. A lot of women. And that's just what it is. I'm gonna stick beside them, girl. Oh, you are? Okay.
And it's interesting because now that, like, when you say it like that, that's, I feel like, one of the first things that people throw in Karen's face. Are y'all ready to send that Fatima's way? Because we're watching the exact same thing play out.
Exactly. Same thing.
Mm.
People want to
It's the
hold Karen
same thing.
accountable. Karen didn't have to stay. If he was cheating and he was doing this and he was doing that, then she didn't have to stay. So I'm at a place where I hear you, Allie, and I respect it. I'm not necessarily saying that she should leave. I've been an advocate of, like, she has to establish boundaries and create room for herself to model what she wants and needs, because he cannot give it to you simply by discerning. He does not he's not equipped with certain things. So you need to create the space that you need in your relationship. And then once he shows you that he's not going to respect those boundaries, or he's not going to keep that space open, then I would say, okay, it's time for her to leave. So I would kind of like have it be a little bit more time in reference to she navigates the relationship before walking away from it, because I also believe, like, part of it is us teaching people how to love us and trying to give them the benefit of the doubt in reference to that. So part of the issue is not only that Zach is not meeting her where she's at emotionally, mentally, spiritually, but she's not making a point of saying that he needs to, or showing that he needs to. So then we also have to give a little bit of accountability for her in that regard.
I like that.
Oh yeah, same one completely. Because even the thing where she's like, no, what you gonna do, Zach, or Zach, this, like, she's made those statements. Fatima doesn't stand by what she says. She'll say certain
Ooh.
things. Zach doesn't do it. She stays. So it's kind of like a child. Don't touch that light. He touched the light. There's no consequence to that. I told you not to touch that light, didn't I? Touch the light again. If there is no consequence, if I don't understand the reasoning that you telling me not to do it, I still do it. Nothing has happened, and damn it, I'ma still do it. Like, that's how I kind of see that. Like, I feel like, I know for a show and for dramatic purposes, yes, but it's like Fatima says the same things over and over again, and there is no change. So my question to her would be, why don't your words hold weight to the man that you say love you?
Mm. And then, honestly, going another step further with that, when I think about her saying things and not standing behind the things that she say, she also isn't saying things in relation to specifically what she needs in reference to the positive side. It's always in retaliation for, like, trying to stand up a boundary behind some shit that he brought into a relationship. You still are not putting
Yes.
down firm boundaries or doing things to say, like, I need a spiritual man, so I want to pray every day at this time with you. I want, like, when he wanted to have sex and she didn't want to have sex, but they still had the dinner and he was pouting over the damn dinner. I'm like, if it's a hard boundary that y'all eat together and he can't even be hospitable because that's what you need to fill up your cup after coming home from work, and you want that feeling in reference to your family and your relationship, and he can't even give you that, honey, stand on that. Nigga, you gonna sit here and smile if I gotta go through all of this and I gotta swab babies and stand outside a duplex and argue with exes and all that, and you can't sit across from me because I ain't give you no nookie as soon as I walk through the damn door with my feet hurting? You can't sit across from me and just talk about how our damn days went? Oh, hell no. Damn, that's a lot to unpack for Fatima, child.
It's a lot, and it's a lot because even that
A
scene,
lot.
he didn't even say, "Hey, babe, how was
That's why
your
I said,
day?"
like,
He
if we
said,
going
"I've
back
been
and watching
waiting on you to get
season
here."
two and we were in this spot right now,
Hold
I
on,
feel
hold on.
like
One
Right?
second,
Fatima would have
Christina.
told Zay,
Go ahead, Allie.
Oh, Oh no, this even with that scene, like he didn't say, "Hey babe, how was your day? I've been waiting for you to get here." But proceeded to grab her arm to take her upstairs to have sex with her, and it's like, excuse me, like I worked all day. I know you've been playing video games on your computer at work, but I actually did work. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, wait a minute, like the boundaries that Fatima, I don't know what they are. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know what Fatima wants from Zach. I don't know what she
Mm.
needs from Zach. I don't know what it is about Zach that attracted her, because that first conversation, I think she was like, I see the potential in you. I think that you could be a great dude. That don't work anymore. You in this. You said yes to him. And I still don't know
Mm.
what the hell you want from him. What do you need from him? What are you lacking in your relationship? The biggest thing they've had has been about sex. Tyler, you can miss me with that.
What were you about to
Sex.
say, Christina? Because I'm about to double back on what Allie just said. Something just came up for me, but I want to make sure you get your point in.
That's what I was saying. If I feel like if this was season 2, Fatima in this position that they are now, Fatima would have been gone because she would have realized that he's not doing what he needs to do for her and in this relationship, and she would have left. So I'm saying, like, what happened between season 2 and season 6 to make her want to stay in this when he's not really giving her nothing to stay for, unless you count the sex. But that's not a relationship.
Allie, while you were talking, girl, what came to me, because you said this earlier tonight, you said Fatima is looking for love, looking to be loved in a very real way, a genuine way. But when you just said this just now, I'm like, wait a goddamn minute, because you said, what is she looking for from Zach specifically? Those are two
Yes.
very different things. She deeply
Mm-hmm.
desires to be loved in an intentional way. But baby, Zach is not showing you that he can do that. So it really might be time to move along because you have yet to communicate what you want specifically from Zach. What about what you have seen in this potential from Zachary Taylor that meets something that you are looking for in reference to the needs for your life?
Yes.
You want to know what I think is
Yes.
actually keeping Fatima?
What?
Fatima sees somebody that she wants to save.
Mm.
It was a live that Crystal and Deval did, and she was like, well, the reason why Fatima is attracted to Zach in the first place is because Fatima sees her father in Zach, her
Mm.
biological father, not her stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
We had glimpses in like Zatima. Obviously, Fatima's real father is a convict. We don't know if he's
Right.
alive. We don't know what happened in the situation. We need more context with that, please. But
Yes.
she sees a person that she can save because she didn't have power in the relationship with her father. And her father ended up getting taken away from her. Yes, she got her stepfather, but it was still a hole there for a minute until her stepfather came along. So honestly, I think that's what's keeping Fatima there. But it has to be more in this relationship if they trying to make it to the altar and talking about kids. Because it's not giving what it's supposed to give right now.
Points were made.
Points were made.
All
Points were
around.
made.
Points were made all around. Shout out to Tari. Tari says she got some rum and coke for this episode. It's driving her to drink.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, Christina?
I think I'm good for now.
Thank you again. You
Thank you,
always provide such
Christina. You give
insightful.
great insight. Yes.
Yes. Oh wait, Tay is requesting. Okay, let me get her up here too. Hey Tay, you there? When Tay talk, we tagged you in, honey. You ready? Let's read some comments while we get Tay on the line.
Okay. Oh, someone said you. Oh, hey.
Hey boo.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good. How
Good.
are
How are
you?
you?
I'm fine. I just finished watching that episode. I'm like, please let them still be on. Please let them still be on.
I love that. Okay, so go and
Man.
lay it on us.
Okay, what is getting on my nerves is I cannot stand Andy. Some of the stuff that she wear is cute, very minimal. I know you think she be fly, but Andy dresses like she dresses cheap, real cheap to me. The stuff that she wear is not appropriate for no law office. Like, I don't know where she be going. I don't know. That girl that came to that singing sounded like a wounded hound dog. That I was just like, I would have drop kicked that lady and was like, and would have said like, get us to Gary, like, please leave.
Not a
Pam,
wounded animal.
I know, right? I know Pam is comedic relief, but Pam cannot act to save her damn life.
We talked about that. Well,
we
didn't say that Angie can't act. We just said that scene. But you clearly came here and chose violence, so do your thug thistle.
Go ahead, Tay. I'm with you, sis.
I cannot take it. I'm like, is she serious? And then Aaron, I thought Aaron was gonna jump on her, and then so when he called Gary, I'm like, okay, cool. He called Gary to get with Andy. He talking about come up here. Forget telling him to tell Andy. Do you know Karen is Andy's best friend? I mean, Andy's best friend, quote unquote. I'm like, and then Gary get up there, ain't think about calling Andy. This is something you need to be calling her for instead of trying to go to eat and then at the after hour, Netflix and chilling. I said, what in the world? They not gonna never get to go on no date.
Do we want them to, though?
I have never seen a man buy a woman a Rolls Royce and a penthouse, furnished. I have never seen them go on a date. Y'all ever seen them go on a date?
No, but the only time I ever saw them out was when the first episode when he crashed her birthday with the girls.
He did when he crashed her birthday, and then the little lesbian private detective had a random ass photo of Andy from the back when they were walking in the park because apparently they took a walk on one day and she happened to catch it. But no, we ain't never seen them actually date.
Right. Like it's pathetic. I'm sick of her. I'm just sick of her and Gary. That mess with Hayden and that girl at the airport was through. Okay. I'm like, what are they doing?
Filling time.
That's it.
I could not. That was so stupid and cheesy. Like, y'all was literally just at the office, and then we blinked, and then y'all popping up at the airport looking like two hyenas. Like, get out of here.
And you supposed to let her help pick the flight based off of where she want to fly, but then now all of a sudden she thinking about your damn pockets. You gonna buy her all these clothes. And like, honestly, okay, so this is also part of the issue, right? Because there are good moments, even in the most trivial, tedious, what the fuck scenes, right? Like we talked about it earlier on in the episode with Sabrina and how she could have been vigorously cleaning and leaned into her anxiety around her life and everything is falling apart. We talked about the different moments where there was like bullshit happening with Maurice and Q and like how they both that could have been a monumental scene for both of these actors playing these particular characters with certain things coming ahead about things that they feel internally. With Hayden and Tamara, the only thing I liked about it is that we are now going into an era where more of the characters are interacting with one another and it's not so siloed to like these characters only talk to this character and this character only talk to this character. Having Hayden run into Danny I thought was 100% brilliance, but the way that we dropped the ball and not allowing his hatred for black women to come out a little bit more and how he was treating Danny, and then what does Tamara feel about that, and this is the man who you really with and you get the best version of him because you happen to be giving him sex, and then that would speak to who Hayden is as a character and give us a commentary from the creator of like, what does Tyler Perry feel about the men like Hayden? Like it felt like a throwaway scene because we didn't even do nothing with it. Even when it comes to Danny pushing back, she was so meek and mild, and I'm like, this is a time where like when a Hayden meets a Danny is when fireworks are supposed to happen.
I'm just like, and all she gave him was, are you muted?
No, I just stopped talking.
Oh, okay. Maybe my TV behind. Okay, so, because I'm thinking like, okay, she about this, like, all she really gave him was like, basically, oh, okay, congratulations, you going a city over. Like, get out of here. here, girl. Like you really getting flued out. Like, stop it. Even when the girl, like, Danny pissed me off to this episode when that girl came there. She know you pushed up with her ex-husband. Like, she know you pushed up with him. Like, why are you acting like that toward her? She trying to give you some tea. Like, she trying to, like, you can't even empathize with her or anything like that. Like, she trying to let you know, like, this dude, like, legit is crazy. Like, whatever you got going on, like, you better pump the volume up, because while she's still there acting tough and just, like, dismissing a lady like the lady did something to her. You the one seeing him at the airport with that lady and then decided to talk to him. I didn't like that. I didn't like how dismissive she was toward the lady. And then, what was Zach? Wait a minute. Let me go back for a second. Because what in the hell happened to Hayden looking cute last episode?
Allie?
Tay.
I was disappointed. I'm like, why?
Wait, Tay, Allie got an answer.
Hey, why did I say the same thing? Why did I say the same thing on the live me Erica did last week? I said, what so attracted to him?
I thought it was just me. I'm losing my mind. I said, I'm losing
So
my
attracted
mind.
to him. No, baby, I was so attracted to him. I said, oh my God, what is Hayden doing to me right now? This should not be happening, but it's happening, and I like it.
And then now we're back. This episode, we're right back. Sir, you look like a pink gremlin.
So unnecessary. Like, I'm so sick of this storyline.
You know what it
was
is?
not right.
It's that Chris is actually fine in real life, and when Hayden leans out of his hate and leans into love, you can see it. But when Hayden leans into his hate, then it's just like, okay, no, you're actually not fine. It's literally that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it's because he was just being a regular guy, liking a girl. He wasn't trying to be mischievous or anything like that. Okay, maybe, because I said, what happened last week? Like, this is regular Hayden back. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
But I kind of wanted him to lean into it if he was going to do it. Like, Danny is the one who's going to get with you out of all of the sisters. Like, Danny going to get with you on some petty stuff, especially if you're misogynistic. But I guess because she's also going through what she's going through right now, she has less bark for these men. So I just honestly...
Danny need to be on somebody's couch.
Wait, what happened?
Danny need to be on somebody's couch.
She need to move in on somebody's couch. Yeah.
Yeah.
And out of their apartment.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I didn't like it. And Zach. Zach, for one, why the hell do you keep bringing your ass up to this girl job? Just popping up looking like a damn fool. Can you at least put on a suit or something? Like, why you gotta come up there looking hood every time you come up here? And then she up there looking good. Now, that outfit she had on, everything, head to toe, perfect. Why do you always come up here looking like a hood rat? And then
Lord.
I just wanted to make Zach, like you said before, that was a phone call. That was a GD phone call. And Fatima, we know we going over there at 12. So you said 12. Fatima, who do you think you are? Like, are you serious? Like, he done known for a couple of weeks at this point that he been this boy daddy. You got the child support stuff in order first. You got the paperwork worked out. You got signatures, everything. Paperwork delivered. Before you even thought about, I'm surprised he even know the boy name. He probably got it off the paperwork. And then my son going up like me. We hope not, because you fine as hell, but Zach, you shit. Like, you walk your pickle head ass out of that damn apartment with Fatima didn't even have to push him. She was like, let's go. He was like, okay. Like, he gave dude like a little nod or whatever, and then gonna trout his ass out of that damn apartment. No harm, no foul, no nothing. But when it came to the fine guy in the elevator on the headbutted him, tackled him, all type of stuff. At her job. At her job in the
Baby.
elevator. You know what I'm saying? You can stop the elevator for all the co-workers that's trying to get to their little desk and cubicles. And this man like, yeah, bring the money back. I'm surprised he didn't just pull the money out and hand it to him and give the guy his whole wallet. At that point, like, you scared, Zach. If you scared, just say that.
If you scared, just say that.
Don't
I'm gonna
try
stare down you on my way out, nigga, cause don't get it twisted, but don't put your hands on me. What?
Because you see, he was tough. He was tough with Heather. Before the guy came through the door, he was getting tough with Heather. You got my son here. You got my son. My son. I want to see my son. And then when the guy came there, he was like, all right, I'll catch y'all later. You said later, 3 o'clock. We'll be back at 3. I said, that good for you. That good for us. I couldn't take it.
Tay, you are hilarious.
Hey, you are absolutely hilarious.
I couldn't take it. But at the end, he broke my little heart with it. He was like, what? He was, when she said, when Pam said Karen was dead, you could see his heart dropped into his damn shoes.
Didn't it?
He was like, what? I was like, and Andy, Lord, let me get to next episode because I wanted to slap the taste out of Andy's mouth. Like, she was sitting there like Fatima was. Like, what, in Karen, the building's burnt down? We haven't heard from Karen? What about Karen?
Well, no, she gets the bawling. I feel like I saw a little clip of her bawling her eyes out because you know Andy gonna cry.
She wasn't frantic like she wasn't frantic like that's your best friend. Because soon as I was seeing, did you see my associate Pam out here? She not your damn associate. Who the hell, Andy? Who do you think you are? Andy is an elitist. It reminded me of that time when Pam was like, where did you get that outfit from? You're not supposed to ask a lady where she get her outfit from. Yes, the hell you do. If you another damn lady, like she asked you what size it was. Like, I think Andy is an elitist or a classist or something like that. Because she trying to treat, like, my associate Pam. Pam not your associate. Y'all know Pam from the shop. Like, my associate Pam, like Pam work at the law office with them. Like, get the hell out of here, Andy. Quit making yourself so important that you ain't. And then, but when I would have seen Pam there, that's my best friend assistant at her shop. She ain't coming up here for no mess. So as soon as I would have seen Pam, my eyes would have welled with tears. I would have been around here looking like Puss in Boots. Like, what's she doing here? What you mean?
Exactly.
Pam here. Pam from the shop. Like, she just like, oh, hi, Pam. Pam, what's going on? Oh, no. Yeah. The shop? Really? Karen? And it was like she didn't even know who the hell Karen was. Zach was all in. I thought Zach was going to push her off the little table like, let me talk to her. Pam, where the hell is Karen? What's going on? Like, Andy was, Andy can't act either.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Tay.
Tay just reading everybody.
We
letting
you get this off, but I don't know if I can stand on that.
Get it off, Tay. Get it off, Tay.
Andy can act.
Yeah, but I've also said that. Well, I think KJ can act. I also have said that I think that Andy be cute, and you don't think that Andy be cute. So you know, it's either here or there.
Andy's a cute girl. I don't think that. Some of her outfits, like I said, they look cheap.
I can see
she
that.
She look like the office slut.
Okay, so that's the thing. I think that's the thing. Honestly, I think that when I'm saying that she's cute, I feel like everything is so tailored to her body and it accentuates her body. So it's more so like she's always giving, bitch, I'm femme fatale and you niggas could never. And I respect that. So it might not necessarily be the outfit itself, but the vibe she gives is like very pretty girl at all times. She's never missing on being pretty.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I get that, and I understand. Like, sometimes you need to have that like in a male, predominantly male environment, but sometimes I don't think that I think she gives too much of it
Yeah.
because you are at work, like you're at a law office with predominantly Caucasian men, and you don't want to be perceived again as the office slut. Like you've been passed around the office, and what the way she dressed at work, it gives she's been passed around the office.
Ooh.
To me, it gives that
To me too.
Allie said to me too.
To me too.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and like I guess show. This is nothing that's wrong with me, but it could be something that's wrong with me. I was raised in the house of Miss Joan Clayton, who wore sheer shirts into her law firm and was always giving. I think that the tea about you not looking or coming across as the office slut is that you don't go and sleep with everybody at the damn office.
Mm-hmm. Well,
True, but
True.
That's the problem with it because Andy, do your thing. But I just still I don't understand the disconnect with her and Robin so quickly. Like it's like she went from like it was like she was in love with him to nothing.
Yeah.
And the fact that Garrett and dang near killed on multiple occasions and talked to her crazy on multiple occasions, and Robin decides to get an attitude one time.
Yo,
Right.
Christina is
Robin
the
was
silent
also-
assassin,
like,
yo. I forgot that she was
Christina,
even
no.
still.
But
Christina,
compared to
baby,
Gary,
that
like, that
comment-
little jealousy thing that Robin had about Paris, like that is like him spilling ice cream on her carpet. Like that was nothing compared to how Gary is. Like you found out he bought you that penthouse to spy on you across the street.
The squeeze shit asleep.
Oh,
But also,
What?
part of
Yeah,
it is that part. Part of it is this, like speaking of Tyler. So the same treatment that we're seeing play out with Heather, we also got to see a preview of it when it came to Robin. There's certain things that happen to trigger whatever that he wanted to happen for a certain character. There is no way that I would ever believe that Robin would have responded the way that he did, finding out about Paris, except for he needed Andy to no longer be interested in him and to put up a fake ass fight. So he created that space and did that. And the same thing he's doing right now for Heather in reference to, oh, she's completely trash.
but you know what though? People don't want to admit it.
Hold on one
But he
second.
did the same thing.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Honey. Go ahead.
I was saying some people don't want to admit it, but he did the same thing to Hayden. When Hayden first came up on the scene, Hayden was a nice guy.
Was
He
it?
was helping. Yes, he was helping Andy. He defended Andy to Gary. He was doing
Hayden
Andy
was
a favor by-
nice.
Hayden was a good dude. And then all of a
remember
sudden,
that.
to create drama with Fatima and Zach, he completely changed his character. Remember, Fatima wanted Hayden to help Andy with this, the thing that was going on when the FBI sees her stuff. Hayden was that dude. He came over to Sabrina's house. He was telling her like, "This time to help you. This what you need to do." He went. She was like,
What? I don't remember none of this.
What?
He did.
Go back to like season 2 between 6 and 8.
He was a good dude. He was real cool. He was nice. He
I
protected
just
Andy and
blocked
Gary.
out all of Hayden's
the girl,
goodness
when-
because
when
I hate
Gary
him.
When Gary cornered her,
You're right.
yeah,
Because at one point you could tell like the banter that Fatima and Hayden had in the office, like they were friends.
they were
Because
friends.
she had
Really?
yeah. And she was like,
Yeah.
you know, it was one time, boy, get over it, whatever. They good. They mamas were supposed to be good friends.
Yeah,
Childhood friends.
Y'all, do I owe
Yeah,
Hayden
like,
an
if you gonna do it,
apology?
I'm gonna tell my mama you ain't helped me.
Dang, you know
Huh.
what? Then now that still make it real messed up that she bust up his daddy's ashes and they grew up together.
well, you knew
They
him,
mamas are
absolutely,
best friends.
absolutely.
Y'all, I owe. Okay, wait. Before I even go down this damn rabbit hole, did Gary ever have a good day?
No.
Okay.
Nah, hell no.
Okay, because I'm just like, I don't remember him meeting Sabrina. I don't remember him being tolerable ever.
Yeah,
He was cool. Him and Fatima was cool, but like, and it wasn't even like he was chasing her when they was at the office like that. He was just like,
Right.
you know, he was like, all right, I'll look out for you this time.
They had like a real smooth banter back and forth, probably for like 2 or 3 episodes. Like it was given very much friendship.
Yeah.
And
Child, I'm rewatching from the beginning, so I guess I'm gonna come across it. But the verdict is out on if I owe Hayden an apology, because it's still F him and Gary.
Yeah, it is still bad because she because she was gonna tell his mama on him up. Something had happened, and she was like, "Well, I'll tell your mama."
Yeah, Hayden and Fatima were partners at Chainbreakers, and then when Fatima asked Hayden to help Andy, he was like, "Why would I do it? What would you do for me?" She was like, "If you don't help me, I'm gonna tell your mama." He was like, "Dang, you gonna ask my mama?" He was like, "All right, fine, I'll help you."
Yep.
And as soon as he seen Zach like he had a crush on him, he instantly started. He switched up. Like, oh, she helping him, they must be messing with each other, and that's how he started it with his little obsession. Because it didn't seem like he was thinking about Fatima before then.
That's what she said. She was like, "Yeah, you know, our mamas go to church together every Sunday." And he was like, "Dang, so you gonna have my mama?" She was like, "Yeah."
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's
You learn something new every
2.
day, I guess. All right, y'all. We got to get ready to get out of here. Any last thoughts you want to share, Tay, Christina, before we shut down the Twitter spaces and get ready to wrap up this episode? Y'all done had us on here for 3 hours.
3 hours.
Last thing I'm gonna say. I feel like Aaron was the most human person in this episode.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right, because he like Pam, even when she went to the thing, she was like, "He's blaming me." Pam, skip that. Tell them what's going on. Like, don't add you in him about him blaming you or nothing. Just say what's going on. Yeah, I did like Aaron this episode. He lit off into he gonna owe Pam an apology, maybe. I don't think he should have been cutting up like that, but it was the heat of the moment. And so, do y'all think it was the lady that came up there calling him John?
I don't, but child.
Oh, but we know we got an unknown body.
Did you hear the guy say it was arson?
I
He said this is a crime scene.
He said arson?
They said it was a crime scene.
No, they said it was a crime scene because somebody died, but I didn't hear him say. I didn't hear him say arson.
Not arson. He said it's a crime scene. So that means that they thought it was arson.
That doesn't necessarily mean that. It could mean because it's a dead body.
No, they don't automatically rule that a crime scene because of the fire. When the fire people get there, they'll see that it originated from curlers. If it originated from curlers.
Oh, that is true. That is true.
Right, but if they don't have if they don't have no police there right now, they don't have a damn medical examiner or a coroner, right? I think that, like, because also, Mr. Fine Ass Fireman, you given that you just started 3 weeks ago, so I feel like them saying a crime scene doesn't necessarily point to arson specifically. I feel like there's not enough happening because it's so very early on in it. Like, they can't rule anything out, so then he just says that to, like, and it's also a buzzword. You get what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah. They came he said they were there the next day, which I'm confused about because Fatima had just went to work. I don't know how it's the next day for Pam and Aaron them, but not the next day for Fatima. Like, it's the same day for Fatima and Aaron them. That was confusing to me. But the firefighter them said that it was the night before. So
well, he said late last night. So it was definitely late last night. We know that. But my thing is, I know y'all saying that the firefighters can see how things originated, but if there's a body, then they also are not supposed to touch anything because they don't necessarily know if it's, like, you get what I'm saying? And then Tyler Perry having the whole storyline of like, oh, well, we're the firefighters for the morning because we relieved the ones from last night, and I'm just like, what?
Why did they have one fireman with no police officers, no sexy fireman getting off the truck, no ladder getting pulled up, no nothing?
Baby, because that's one thing that it is. Them firefighters be looking good. Like, yeah, I think it's a requirement for firefighters to look good to even apply.
I mean, it's
Something.
one fireman. Usually, it's at least 4 or 5 men on a truck.
Mm-hmm.
It usually be a whole lot of them. Like, they still there. Like, the lieutenants and stuff like that. Because my neighbor house caught on fire around this time last year. And when I tell y'all, them firefighters look so damn good. When a lieutenant came over here, I started to set my own damn house on fire just so I could bring their asses back, okay?
And
But
like
that's all
6
the last words
firefighters
I
on the
had.
truck.
You are a mess. You are a mess. We gonna
Hilarious.
see. I mean, it definitely could be arson. I'm still standing 10 toes down on it. I don't think that it's Jennifer. I don't think it's that deep. I don't know if Aaron is that good. So I don't even know if Aaron was sleeping with that woman. Like, I just feel like it's such a stretch.
But Erica,
don't
the
even
reason
know if he
why I
slept
say
with
I
her.
think it's arson is because if it was just an accidental fire, I feel like Karen wouldn't have introduced the line of, Aaron, are you gaslighting women?
Yeah.
But I feel like he did
Right,
that
man.
because old girl was hollering and screaming. Did he tell you? He made you feel all special, girl. Like, she was losing her shit in the parking lot, yo.
And if she came up there like that, this gonna be the second person to me tied to Aaron that then passed away in Karen's shop.
No, that's
Like, what is that? Where are you going with this, Tyler?
Yeah, where are you going with it? So, Allie, you
'Cause we
think that
know
it
it's not
is
Karen.
Jennifer?
That's who my money is on. My money is on Jennifer. As I feel like with Tyler, because my thing is I think Tyler is twisted enough to bring a person on one episode and then burn her up in a fire. Like, I think he would do that. Like, I really do. Because I feel like after that, there's no, like, what's going to be the purpose of Jennifer? She did her purpose. You came, you created this conflict, you created this thing for Karen to question Aaron John and think about, is he really the person that he said? And so now she's not needed. What the hell do we need of her?
Lord.
I wouldn't be surprised. I just wouldn't be surprised.
The person that saved her.
Wait, what happened?
Now that's gonna push Karen toward the guy that saved her. When they find out that it's Jennifer that burnt her salon down.
I can't.
Because I think there is going to be a
I also feel like that's so obvious. Like, Tyler didn't even nuance that shit at all. Like, I feel like if Jennifer was going to burn down the damn salon, Karen should have never met her.
Well, she met her, and now she gonna be like, Aaron, this is the second person that then,
And he didn't already did this. He didn't already did the confrontational woman from Aaron's past or present or whatever. Like, I really feel like if it's going to turn out to be Jennifer, I'm gonna be mad at the way that they did it. Because if she's been stalking you this whole entire time, watching you go here, I'm gonna need you to not confront Karen, burn down her whole shit, and then try to lock her ass in there because you're that deranged and crazy. Like, again, it just leans itself to, like, let's commit. What are we doing with these characters, Tyler? If you want her to be crazy, let her ass be really crazy.
But then again, too, it had to be somebody had to break into the shop. Like, who would want to break into Karen's salon?
Yeah.
That would be the thing, because whoever was in there had to break in. I don't think the person who burned up was trying to save Karen. So who had, like, motive? That's the thing.
When she got there, so.
And we ain't seen nobody in Karen's circle like really hate Karen enough to try to set on fire aside from Jennifer because she crazy.
Because who would be in there? And if somebody was in there, why wouldn't they have just cut the curlers off and left? Like, it wasn't that bad when Karen went in. That's why she went in. So whoever was already in there, they must have had done something to that stuff and been in there already. And that, whatever the case may be, maybe Aaron offed her and threw her in there. It's like, no, I ain't gonna say that, but I don't know. It's a reason why it's another body in there, because we know it's not Karen. So who else could it possibly be?
Unless it's one of the workers. Unless it's one of the workers, but when we left, the only people that was in the salon was Pam and Karen.
Yeah.
Well, Pam wasn't in the salon. Pam was home.
And Pam locked up everything because she was having sex at home.
And we know Karen got out somehow, so who decides to sneak back in, make the fire worse, and try to escape but didn't?
Right.
That's a conversation for another video on another day, child. But points were made. Thank y'all so
All
much.
right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Bye, y'all.
Night.
Good night. Good night.
Alrighty. Wait, how do I? Okay. All right, y'all. We didn't gone
Way.
way past the there back. Hopefully, you
But this
guys
was
enjoyed
fun.
the live.
I enjoyed it.
I feel like we got a lot of stuff off our chest, so thank goodness for that.
And thank y'all for listening.
For sure. This episode was definitely chaotic. We are so appreciative for you joining us every single week. My name is Erica Vane. If this is your new time or your first time seeing me or coming across this, we're doing this live after show after every Tyler Perry Sistas episode this season, titled Our Sistas Keeper. And I'm joined by
Allie Nick, previously known as Hustle Queen Lee, had to retire that name, but Allie Nick. Y'all make sure to subscribe to our channels, comment, engage, listen. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for commenting. Appreciate it.
Next week we're gonna do a better job of being in the chat and keep it up with the chat because y'all had plenty of conversations happening in there. And don't be surprised if we go back and look at the chat, because if you're catching this on replay, you can also see the live chat play out as you're rewatching it. Drop a comment in the comment section down below if you want to share your thoughts. But don't be surprised if there's a comment or something that you mentioned in the chat that makes it to one of our videos, because we do read these things, y'all.
We do.
Thank you again. Subscribe, and we will see you in our breakdown videos tomorrow and then again live next week.
Yes. Bye, y'all.